Hey Ross, what's up, man? What's good with you, brother?
What's up, man? Hey, man. Another day above ground is a good day, man. I feel blessed. It's time to separate the weak from the strong, man.
Exactly. You're absolutely right about another day above ground. Um, let's get on to it because I mean, there's a lot of shit that we need to unpack. Um, Obviously, Earl Spence is showcasing Wolverine healing factor. Um, the dude it looks like he's already 1,000% ready to go. I mean, he looks right now ready for the rematch. That shit is
Mm-hmm.
crazy, man. What's your take on that, man? How this guy is already healed up, chilling in Spain, doing his thing, just vibing out, man.
My take on it is that what happened fight night looked a lot worse than what it actually was. That's my take, and also, it seems as if he was going through some type of inflammation or something was off about him. And if you have some type of inflammation in your nasal, your eyes, your nose, those things can make your face be puffy, can make you more susceptible. D, what's up? Make you more susceptible to swelling in the face more so than you know what I mean. Got to think about it. We've seen Spence in fights before. We've seen Spence take punishment before, but we never seen him look like that. That's a combination of whatever was wrong with him before the fight and a combination of those gloves that was, I believe, was tampered. Because one thing about the media, when they know there's a lot of money involved, they'll keep on certain things. Could you imagine? Or if it's a certain person, could you imagine the media melee if Deontay Wilder was caught with tampered gloves?
Hmm.
Do you think it would be this quiet?
Great fucking point.
Do you think it would be this quiet if they found out Floyd Mayweather was tampering with his gloves?
Hmm.
Do you think it would be this quiet if they found out Errol Spence was tampering with his gloves or his hand wraps? But
Hmm.
they immediately either they're quiet or they immediately squash anything when there's a fighter that's on the coincidental list.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when I
And when you say
realized this,
coincidental list, can you elaborate on that?
um, coincidental is Tyson Fury. Because anybody that's not established, anybody that's not connected with the PBC,
Hmm.
um, if they are connected with the PBC, guys that are kind of like on the sellout spectrum, like Sean Porter. They love Sean Porter, but listen to the things Sean Porter says. He's always teeter tottering. He's always, you know what I mean, back and forth, yo
Hmm.
yo, um, things of that nature, right? And people don't realize this. At the end of the fight, what you got for me was my word, and my word was that if Terence Crawford won, I would give him the respect he deserved, and I did. But you guys don't understand. I watched the fight 10, 20, 30, 40 times. After I watched that fight, I watched previous fights of the fighter. I watched people that they fought. I watched previous fight of the fighter who lost to see any inconsistencies. Nowhere in Terence Crawford's career has he ever performed like that. His punches never
Hmm.
affected anybody like that.
Hmm.
You don't just get power overnight. That's why I call
Yep.
bullshit. That's why I call bullshit on the Fury fight. Fury has never had power like that.
Hmm.
You don't get power. Power is something you inherently have. Somebody could have you hit more accurately, but you won't have devastating, mind-boggling power if you never had it before. That's not how it works. Terence Crawford he had good power against C-level fighters. He's never known to dominate elite fighters. Wherever he hits you at, he's hurting you. He hit Spence in
Hmm.
the shoulders and Spence fell. Now, if I hit, he knows. If I hit, he knows everything in the shoulder with brass knuckles. He gonna fall. Cause I can hit already, and now I got brass knuckles, right? But if I hit him in the shoulder without the brass knuckles, he might feel it, but he ain't gonna fall. This
Yep.
guy works out every day. Look at his shoulders. Look at his chest. So I have to hit him in the vital organ to make him fall, not his shoulders, right?
Yep.
He's built for that. He bench press. He probably squats. He's built for shit to go on his shoulders. But if I got brass knuckles, I can make him fall.
Yep.
I hit
Easily.
hard enough already, and the brass knuckles are adding like 5, 6 pounds to my hands. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, so that's the thing. After watching the fight over and over and over, after watching previous fights, I started to get questions. I started to get questions. Errol Spencer got to make an excuse. Errol Spencer's a man. He's not making an excuse. But the thing about it is, you guys did not give us the credibility we deserved after the fight. After the
Yep.
fight, we we was being classy. Y'all was the one that wasn't being classy.
Yep.
Y'all was the one that was being disrespectful,
Yep.
which made me want to go and look to see was this really real what I saw.
Yep.
You guys made me go and watch the fights and be like, was this really real? Because y'all was acting like y'all didn't expect that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
When Floyd Mayweather used to win, I never acted like that, obnoxious. I knew Floyd was going to win. I didn't act surprised. The Terence
Mm-hmm.
Bud Crawford community acted surprised as if Terence Bud Crawford had did something miraculous. I thought he was a better fighter, hands down. Why was y'all
Yep.
so surprised that he won that way? Because everybody knew something was up with that fight. That's why.
Yep.
Go ahead, man. I've been what they
Now
call
you've
it,
been preaching.
long
You've been
winded.
preaching. You've been preaching. That ain't long winded. It's preaching, man. And the people, you could tell. The people could feel what you were saying. Because everything that you were saying was potent. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Um, the bottom line is people love to believe a lie. They love to believe a story. They love to believe a fairy tale. Why is Earl Spence Wolverine all of a sudden? Why does he have a healing factor all of a sudden? Why is his face all of a sudden non-inflamed? Why all of a sudden he's chilling, partying at in Ibiza, Spain? The beating that he supposedly took, he's supposed to be in a hospital somewhere. So what that revealed to you is the reality that Terence Crawford's power is not what you thought it was, and it also revealed to you that he did use loaded and padded gloves because in the David Avocado, and Venessen, whatever how you want to say, however the fuck you say his last name. We're gonna just say avocado. Avocado sounds good.
Evanescence, like the water.
Exactly. Evanes. David Avocado has a legal active lawsuit out against Terence Crawford. Me and Ross have talked about this offline. Big companies do this shit all the time. When Enron was getting ready to tank, their stock was getting ready to tank. They came out and they made comments to try to do what's called damage control, but it didn't work. Everlast came out and tried to do damage control because Terence Crawford is one of their big athletes, one of their superstar athletes they make money on. You know what they said? We gave him a batch of defective gloves. If you read between the lines, what they're basically saying is we gave a batch of loaded and padded gloves, but we have to put a nice vernacular behind it to appease Terence Crawford fans. Budman fans, Terence Crawford fanboy man crushes. This is why we call them Terence Crawford fanboy man crushes because they love dick prints. They love Terence Bud
Right.
Crawford's dick print. They only look at Terence Bud Crawford because they want to see his package. We've had Terence Bud Crawford fanboy man crushes and Bud man fans get on lives and tell us, hey, when you grew up, did you do meat checks? No, I didn't do no fucking meat check. I don't know what part of the world you grew up in. I don't know how you grew up. I don't know how your lifestyle is. But I don't do meat checks. That's what they tell you. And then the Bud Man fans are sitting there eating it up, not questioning anything until we actually said what we said and kept our stance that we are full-blown heterosexual males. And then they finally realized, well, you know what? Ever since everybody's talking on the heterosexual wave, then we need to support that. But they weren't talking that way. The way that they were talking like, oh shit, Big Tyrone 720. We should know that name is questionable. That sounds like some gay porn star name. When you hear Big Tyrone 720,
It
he
sounds it
turned
sound,
around.
it sound like a jailhouse name.
Exactly. He turned around and Big Tyrone 720 said out of his own mouth, the reason why Terence Crawford is going to win is because he has a bigger dick. And then me and Tom Ross said, hold up. We did community posts on that. We screen capture the fact that he actually said it, and then we turned around and we started scratching our heads and we said to ourselves, there is a certain level of fanatics in boxing that they actually sexualize boxers. And this is not the first time we've heard this, because there was a guy that was on our live so many years ago that was saying the reason why Canelo Alvarez wins is because he's sexy. The reason why we believe Lomachenko wins is because Lomachenko is handsome. So we've been seeing this trend that guys have been infecting what's called homosexuality into boxing. And the person who created this was Boxing Ego. And the reason why he created it is because he used to hide behind the glamour of saying V taper. But V taper meant dick print. It was like a quote unquote name to say dick print. Why am I tying that into defective gloves? Because you can always put a sexy term to what you really mean. So when you say V taper, you're talking about a dick print. When you say defective gloves, you're hiding behind the fact that you gave Terence Crawford loaded and padded gloves. You
Right.
see how this shit works?
Because you got to think about it. If a woman is on a, people can't understand. Women are human beings, like men are human beings. When we're on the beach, even if we with our woman, we see other attractive women. And we might not be like a virgin and gawk and follow them around with our face in the ass, but we see and we're actively looking
Yep.
because it's like art. We like saying beautiful women with beautiful bodies. You think women are looking at men, even if she don't matter how much she loves you, she's looking to see a man with a nice body. Do you think she just stop when she see they V taper? She's a woman. She naturally gonna look down. So any nigga talking about a man's V taper, he's already feminine. So he's not just stopping at that V taper. He's gonna
Exactly.
look down. Now, a woman who loves you not gonna disrespect you. I mean, she gonna see what she see in that glance and keep walking. She ain't gonna be like just looking at dude shit, right? But these niggas are like women. You know what I'm saying? And the proof of Terence Crawford should be, if you're watching the fight, the actual reactions of the people getting punched.
Yep.
And when he had that type of power, he supposed to kill Gamboa.
Yep.
If he had that type of power to hurt Spence with every shot, why is Gamboa still alive?
Exactly.
When you had that type of power, not only that, you move the weight classes faster. Why it take him so long to get to 147 with that type of power?
Exactly.
If he had that type of power, why it take him so long to get through Mean Green? Why he ain't walk through Mean Green?
Exactly.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't tell
Why
me
he
you
ain't,
can't tell me Mean Machine put up a better fight than Errol Spence. Like that sounds like bullshit to me. Utter bullshit.
unless if that's what you want to believe, you will believe that. But if you
Yep.
just call a thing a spade, you have to realize something was off. You got to realize something was off, man.
Either
You
Earl
got
was drugged, either Earl was suffering already from inflammation because he was already off. Let's be honest. He was on hot boxing with Mike Tyson. They all was on fucking weed and what's that shit that they eat? Edibles. They was on edibles. Who knows? If at any given moment in time Spence was drinking water, who knows if they put fucking edibles in his fucking water? I don't trust none of these motherfuckers, man. The reason why I say this is because when Jordan went to go play against the Utah Jazz, they wanted to try to make sure the Bulls didn't win. What they do? They fucked his pizza up. The motherfucker was hungry that night. They fucked his pizza up, and he had to deal with stomach issues the whole night.
yeah.
Anybody, people will do anything possible when they want somebody to possibly win. The fight was fucking fixed. It was a WWE script. And the reason why we can see this is because why is Earl Spence revealing Wolverine healing factor? Why is people not questioning this? When someone gets beat up like that, you're supposed to see all of their swelling continuously, especially after a week of the fight later. Why is his face back down all of a sudden to normal? And he's showing his face. It's not like he got something covering himself or anything like that. He's taking pictures with people in Ibiza, Spain. Like you guys are really
He
fucking
did
simpletons. Let me
after
just
he
say this
fought.
real quick, Rob, because I gotta clown these people. You guys are really stupid. You guys are really dodo heads. You guys are really dumb motherfuckers. And the reason why I call y'all dumb and it's becoming very apparent y'all dumb, is because y'all see the shit in front of yourselves and y'all still believe it. Boxing knows y'all are dumb, and they keep forcing down your throat the stupidity because they go down to your level. They're like, okay, these people are dumb, they are stupid, so we're going to give them something to showcase how stupid and dumb they are. We're going to give them what they want because you guys focus on it's just about boxing. That's why when people talk and people give responses, they don't look at every angle. They don't look at the powers that be. They don't look at money being made. They don't look at money being generated. They don't look at promoters. They don't look at advisors. They don't look at networks. All of this shit is boxing. So people don't want to talk about these things. There's reality behind all of these things. Everybody got to eat. And boxing has to keep up with MMA right now. Because look at Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. Go look at the pay-per-views with that. So this is what's going to happen. And now I'm going to throw it back. I'm going to alley-oop it back to Ross. But this is what's going to happen. You guys are going to start seeing super fight trilogies from here on out. We're the first ones to say it. It's documented on this live. Anyone that says it after us, all of y'all, we got 25 people in here. Y'all are here. Today's date is August 10, 2023. It's timestamp. We said it, so now everyone knows it. They saw how successful Wilder and Fury was. Now they're going to see how successful Spence and Crawford is. Every fight after that, super fight, don't be surprised if they start having trilogies. And when I say this, don't be surprised if Tank versus Stevenson or Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. These shits are coming down the pike because boxing not only wants to resuscitate itself, it wants to resurrect itself. And it's going to do it off of the stupidity of you as boxing fans that's going to eat this shit up. Go ahead, Ross.
Yeah. What I realize is when you're dealing with delusional people, you kind of got to ignore them and just focus on the people who are logical. Like D said, I would have thought he would take longer to heal. Exactly. After he fought Sean Porter, he wasn't healed right away. His face was swollen for a couple of weeks, damn near a month. That's one thing I realized. A lot of people, they are so delusional. They're so delusional, man. If there's something they want to believe, they're gonna believe it. It don't matter. It don't matter. Now, truth be told, these are speculations off of what I perceive to what I perceive to what had happened. I wasn't back there. I just been watching boxing for a hell of a long time. And one thing I realized is people punching power doesn't just increase. Typically, people who have power, and their power stays the same unless they're dehydrated or some shit like that. All things equal, they don't just get more powerful all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact. As they get older, their reflexes decline. If you see somebody steady getting older, but their reflexes have not declined one bit, they're probably on PEDs.
Facts.
You can't beat Father Time. There's things I was able to do at 20, I can't no longer do the same way at 40. This is just facts. Your body changed, man. It's like Buddy off of Pay the Full. My body different, man. My mind, my body different. Your body different. You start changing as you get older. So when you're not seeing that, you gotta know you're looking at something that's not natural.
One way to tell that one real quick, Ross, is just go party. Remember when you was in your early 20s, you go party. An hour later, you go run 8 miles. Go do that shit now. Go do that shit now and try to recover.
Nah, you party long enough, your ass gonna be fucked up the next 3 days.
Yep.
So that's the thing, man. So y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta ask yourself: Do y'all want to believe fantasy or do y'all want reality? And that's the problem right now. Because everything's entertainment, even sports. Sports has become entertainment. Everything's entertainment.
Pure.
Everything's entertainment. Tory Lanez.
There's a reason why they call it entertainment.
Tory Lanez would even be in jail right now if Tory Lanez wasn't telling other people how to fucking make money without the record labels.
Yep.
Since when they give a fuck about domestic violence and domestic shit between people?
Yep.
They hire murderers.
Exactly.
For crying out loud. They
Yep.
got actual murders rapping right now that's out.
Yep.
They rap about the murders that they do. The system don't care about rappers committing crime. They care about rappers committing crime when they no longer fit the narrative.
Yep.
Because it's all about the entertainment. It's all about the narrative.
Anytime you're unapologetic, you get punished for it. When
When
Spence said
Errol, when
sanctioning
Errol,
body shouldn't get 3%, what
yeah,
happened?
I was about to say that. When Errol Spence starts speaking out, and he ain't just start speaking out. He started speaking out in the beginning of his career, talking about Bob Arum rigging fights,
Mm-hmm.
matchmaking, um, smoke and mirrors, blase blase. He kept he put I'm gonna say he put a X on his back because telling the truth should never be a bad thing. But they
Nope.
marked him once they realized this dude this dude is exposing how fake boxing is. And only the people who actually wanted to see Errol Spence lose, they're the only ones who are just taking this and not questioning it at all. They're not questioning the
Exactly.
fact that you never seen Errol Spence look like that. You never see him look like that before a fight. You never see him like that during the fight. You never see him be off balance from round one. You never seen Crawford dominate like that against anybody. Are we saying Crawford became an elite fighter overnight when he never fought
Superman overnight.
like fighting an elite competition constantly is what make you elite. Are we saying he became elite off fighting sea level competition? Or are we gonna say what makes sense that Errol Spence probably wasn't at his best, and since Crawford already got an open glove gate on him, and they throw gate on the end of shit because they know gate kind of diminishes the argument.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna say an open investigation on his gloves from his last fight. So it's
Yep.
not like this is out of the blue. He already being called out for loading his gloves in the last fight.
Yep.
So it's not like this is out of the blue. It don't make no sense. He got an
Exactly.
open investigation right now for loading his gloves.
Yep. An active lawsuit. And they're basically overlooking Avocado's team because Avocado was a tune-up fighter. If he had a bigger name, this would have made more headway. But because it was a tune-up fighter and it was under the radar and they had to set it up for Spence versus Crawford, basically what Crawford and his team did was they used that moment to practice the cheating that they were going to do and the cheating that they were going to implement in the Spence versus Crawford fight. Because how do you go from being petrified and scared of Errol Spence? Ross was right 1,000% with that. He was never wrong about that. How do you go from that to all of a sudden you got this fake confidence? You got this bravado. The only way that you can have bravado is if you have something going on, unless you have a super soldier serum cocktail that you're brewing, unless you've been enhanced. There has to be something artificial that had to take place in order for you to all of a sudden have this confidence. When he said, "When I'm gonna take out my belt and I'm gonna spank you," the level of vitriol to say that, that means you knew you had loaded and padded gloves. That means you knew you was on that snack PED cocktail. And when you got idiots on the live coming in saying, "Well, I take snacks," don't give us that over-the-counter shit that they give you. You are not a multi-million-dollar boxer. You think they're gonna give you the same snacks that they're gonna give a multi-million-dollar boxer? Get the fuck out of here,
First
man.
of all, if you out of shape, right, and you're not a coordinated athlete, you taking PEDs is not the same as them taking PEDs.
Exactly.
You, a nigga who worked at Best Buy, taking PEDs is not the same as a nigga who fight for a living taking PEDs and punching somebody. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's crazy how delusional people hear conversations too. They hear exactly what they want to hear. They don't hear what's being
Uh-huh.
said.
Yep.
What's being said is not the injuries that happened. What's being said is the shit is not what it looked like.
Yep.
Because if it was what it looked like, why do Errol Spence look the way he look right now?
Exactly.
That wasn't him going on Ellen to where they put makeup on him. He was caught in a
Mm-mm.
random video with his wife, with his girl,
Yep.
looking damn near normal.
Normal.
If you're already inflamed, right? Or if you're on
You're
a
gonna be
medication,
inflamed.
If you're on medication that cause inflammation,
Mhm.
then you will swell up faster than the average person or whatever's going on with you. If you
Yep.
already have inflammation, then you're gonna swell up faster than the average person,
And it
and you're
takes
gonna look bad.
time for the swelling to go down. The swelling doesn't just go down, especially taking that level of quote unquote punishment. The swelling is going to take time to subside. I mean, look at Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia's eye took 9 months to fucking heal before we could finally see that he didn't have the ring around his damn eye. So this is ridiculous when people see what they see in front of them and still accept it. And this is why they're accepting it. They're accepting this shit, Ross, because of the simple fact of this. They needed a win. You got to understand, Canelo Alvarez got exposed by Floyd Mayweather and Dmitry Bivol. Lomachenko got exposed. Manny Pacquiao got exposed. Teofimo Lopez got exposed. The list goes on with the guys that they've been rooting for that got exposed. So they finally got a guy in Terence Crawford that was able to give them something that they could get behind. So that's why they're sitting here and they're giving a blind closed eye on the situation. But if the shoe was on the other foot, they would say Earl was enhanced. We've heard allegations of Errol Spence's nipple. Earl didn't get VADA tested. Earl was on steroids. We've already heard this shit before. Earl's a weight bully. We would have heard all of this nonsense. They don't keep the same energy, man.
Now you gotta understand these people are losers. So if you never lost and you never won anything in your life, and so you're gonna automatically have a aversion or feel contrary to people whom you think are winners,
Yep,
right? The people whom you think have it all. You know what I mean? If you never got girls, you might hate the handsome nigga, not knowing even being handsome don't get you girls.
exactly.
You might have a problem with somebody whom you see got female friends, not knowing all because you got female friends don't necessarily mean he's fucking them. You know what I mean? You're gonna
Facts.
have problems with people whom you think are alpha. So you're gonna want to see people like that lose.
Yep,
All my life I've been hearing people say, I hate Tom Brady. Why you hate Tom Brady? He always winning, man. I'm tired of seeing him winning. Do you
yep,
know how fucking feminine that is, man? You hate a nigga
yep.
because he win?
Winning all the time.
I hate Kobe Bryant, man. Kobe Bryant is out of he arrogant, man. I hate somebody who think they just the best. You would hate somebody like that when you feel like you're not the best. When you feel like you ain't shit, you gonna hate somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone like that falls, you have beta males coming out the woodworks happy. Not they're
Yep,
not so much happy that Terence Crawford won. They're happy that Errol Spence lost. He could have lost to
exactly.
anybody. Cause
Yep,
they feel when somebody like Errol Spence lose, that means they won.
they won. That's what it is. You said it, man. You said it. That's what it's all about, man. It's not about Terrence Crawford fans. It's about ESJ hate. And we've been saying this shit for years, man. And if you notice, content creators that were riding off of Errol Spence's wave that were fence straddling, they don't have nothing to say right now. You know why they don't have nothing to say? Because they can only play on offense, man.
Right.
People don't know how to play on offense and defense. The reason why me and Ross are superstars of the highest degree and the highest orders is we know how to play on offense and defense. What do I mean when I say that? We could talk about Spence when Spence is doing his thing and winning. But we can also talk about Spence when Spence is in a precarious and a precocious situation, like right now, quote unquote, losing, even though the losing wasn't reality, we could still talk. But you know what people want you to do? Eat your L, delete your channel. You have to be a scum of the earth. You have to be a scumbag. You have to be a loser. You have to be a low life. You have to be doing nothing with your life to tell someone who's applying themselves, someone who has purpose, someone who has confidence, someone who has an abundance mindset, someone who's actually giving you content creation, someone who can create. Most people are not creators. You guys need to sit there and salute me and Ross because the reason why I say that, it takes a special type of person to have creativity to create each and every single day. We're giving you guys content creation. Content creators don't get enough credit for that, but I respect every content creator, believe it or not. Now, no two content creators are alike. There may be content creators that bite, they copycat or whatever, but they still get credit. You know why? Because they have at least the work to get up and create fucking content. Most people can't do that. So most people stay in the comment section running their rabbit ass mouths.
Yeah.
And when you sit there and tell them to go
Some
and
people in
create
here just some people
something,
in here, they're not having a debate in good
yeah,
faith.
because some
They're
and I
just
want to
trolling.
finish.
If I was you, I'll
No,
give
no,
them.
I'm not even addressing the troll. I'm just talking in a general point, but I
And I'm
want to
telling
finish
you,
saying this.
but them trolling, they can ruin the experience for everybody else in the comments. They just writing regular shit. They need to get up out of here.
Yeah. With content, I appreciate you saying that. With content creators, um there's a special appearance, um um there's a special nuance that they give you in order for you to appreciate. So with me telling you that the fight was fake, it may not be something you want to hear, but as you keep seeing what's going on, as you keep seeing the nuance, um as you keep seeing the nuance or whatever, then as you keep seeing the nuance is very fucking clear, and the nuance explains to you what's going on. So the nuance keeps coming out more and more and more and more. Okay, I got you. All right, cool. The nuance keeps going on more and more and more, and the nuance keeps teaching you that this fight right here has a whole lot of hoopla behind it. This fight right here has a whole lot of things behind it that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
Errol Spence doesn't warm up pre-fight. Terence Crawford is warming up. Earl's sitting there, walking over, looking like he's drugged, looking like he's on some damn edibles or some shit. I've never seen this. I've never seen in any Errol Spence's fight. Earl never warms up. Earl never has a good sweat in. And here's how you know this fight was set up for him to lose. Earl never gives up his A side, but he was willing to give up everything for Terence Crawford. He was willing to do everything. Listen, he said that in the press conference.
Right.
I agree to everything. We need to see a long sheet of everything that he agreed to.
Here's the
See,
thing.
they be telling shit, they be telling you the general shit behind closed doors, and y'all don't be peeping. He said, I agree to every one of Terence Crawford's terms. We need to see the long list of what those fucking terms are.
Here's the thing. Did he willingly agree, or was he told this was going for this is what it's going to be?
Exactly.
This is how it has to go for this 3-fight deal to go.
Yep.
You had to agree to all this. That's the only way he's going to fight you.
Yep.
This fight has to go this way because that's the only way it's going to be a second fight.
Yep.
Think about it. Errol Spence was an A-side. Errol Spence could have went to 154 and said, we're going to fight 154.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But nah, he stayed at 147. One fight too long. He fought somebody. Who fights somebody while they're actively in a glove investigation?
Exactly.
Like actively. You can look this shit up. You can go Google this right now. Terence Crawford is actively being investigated for cheating with his gloves.
And who fights someone without no doping testing? There was no VADA testing for the fight.
Who fights somebody who put people who aren't known to cheat? I can see somebody saying, you know what? You don't have a history. All right, fuck it. But somebody that's actively already being investigated for cheating, you damn right they're going to be under VADA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I have to admit, I haven't seen any fight or any opponent Bud has fought to say he's better than Spence. What I can say is Bud is the one who they want us to win.
Exactly.
Because it was better for boxing. They used to say this shit all the time. The boxing world actually hated Floyd. De La Hoya said this on many occasions. He said, what boxing really needs is for Floyd Mayweather to lose.
Mm-hmm.
He used to always say that. He's like, Floyd doesn't understand this. He has to stop. He has to stop dominating. He's winning too much.
Exactly.
Boxing needs him to lose. That's when
Yep.
people should realize boxing was rigged.
Mm-hmm.
When they when they're upset that one guy isn't losing, the reason why they couldn't get Floyd because Floyd made entirely too much money even when he won.
Yep.
He had finessed the game to where people paid to see him for the chance of him losing. But Spence is not as big as Floyd Mayweather was.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
Spence he doesn't have that opportunity to keep winning and still be. He has to play the
So
game more than
he got sucked into the ultimate vacuum.
he
Now,
he
mind
has to
you, if
play
he
the
didn't
game more
have
than Floyd did. Yeah,
yeah, if he didn't have that car crash and he didn't have the absence and the exit, and let's say he was more active and he had more fights under his belt, he still probably wouldn't have been nowhere near Floyd's level, but he would have not been in the position that he's in right now. I think his superstardom would have been even greater because he would have been more active, he would have been more out there. The bottom line is this, um, and I have to address this. You know, back in the days, back in Moses's days, we had quote unquote Hebrews that even Moses and them was like, you guys are not Hebrews, you're fake. So Moses would go to God and be like, just do away with these people because they're not us. They have the bloodline of us, but they're not us. When you sit there and say that you were fundamentally a Spence fan, and then all of a sudden you come out and say that Bud is better than Spence, period, you're one of those rejects that they just need to go ahead and swallow you whole. I've already told people, people need to start denouncing themselves, especially when they were diametrically on one side, and then all of a sudden they can be fence straddlers and be diametrically opposed to another side. You guys know who you are in the comment section that are like that. There are Hebrews, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, Ross, and I think Ross agrees. If we could feed them to the wolves, we go ahead and feed their ass to the wolves. Let's be done with it and feed their ass to the wolves. Because at the end of the day, you can't trust them. Because a true Hebrew man, a true Hebrew woman, they stand on their principles. If this was their position, they stand on their position. Even if it comes to death, they stand on their position. You can't stand on one position and then all of a sudden switch. I honestly, in my own estimation, I disassociate myself with anybody that's like that. That means you can't be trusted. And then you turn around and say that you're part of my same tribe. The Levite tribe is very prideful when it comes to we stand on a position, we'll die on that fucking position, and we are a defender of that position. And then you quote unquote part of the Levite tribe. Listen, if I could see you in person, I would take my knuckles out and beat the shit out of you. I would actually beat the Levi tribe out of your ass.
because
That's
they like
how
him.
that's how serious. Just like Moses beat another man to death because of the fact that he touched another one of his Hebrew. I got my great great granddaddy's bloodline in me. I would beat the Levi out of your ass. And that's why I told you denounce yourself as a Levi tribe because you have embarrassed yourself when you sat there and said that you stood on one fucking position and then you switched to another fucking position. Get the fuck out of here. I wanted to say that real quick because I know the
Here,
individual knows exactly who
here's
the
the
fuck I'm talking
thing.
about.
Um, One thing I realized you got to be patient with a lot of black people have been taught to think exactly how white people taught them to think, and they respond to shit how white people respond to it. You could be speaking the whole truth. They'll latch onto a technicality in something you said,
Let me make some coffee real quick. Keep going, bro.
so they can ignore the meat of the conversation. If Terence Bud Crawford's last fight, if the guy filed a complaint, that means he's under investigation. Because when you file a complaint, the governing body has to investigate the complaint. Clean fighters don't get complaints filed on them ever. Clean fighters don't get complaints filed on them. Have you? You don't have the platform to question us. Have you fought? Have you fought? You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask yourself something. There's a white dude that predicts fights. and predict sports events. He predicted a rigged fight between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. I just didn't want to believe it. He predicted it was going to be rigged. And I have too. And I doubt you have. You haven't fought nobody. Because if you believe this Terence Crawford fight was real, you ain't fought nobody. Because if Terence Crawford was hitting like that, he would have knocked Mean Green out in the first round. I doubt it. I doubt it. You ain't fought nobody at a high level. You ain't fought nobody at a high level. Now, if you believe this shit, now you probably the same nigga that believe Tory Lanez really shot Megan Thee Stallion, don't you? Do you really believe he shot her both her feet and she was twerking 3 days later? You believe that? You probably believe in Santa Claus too. You probably believe in Santa Claus too. Y'all ass ain't fought nobody. You come on here and don't even have a profile name. You ain't have a profile pic. You ain't fought nobody, man. Just entertainment, you hit it on the head. They want boxing to be like Rocky movies for the casual fan. So they don't like black fighters who are great because black fighters make boxing look easy. So therefore, if these guys want to get paid, they have to take dives. They got to make it look like it's a movie. Boxing puts on fraud events, period. Shamika Jackson, what's up? What's up? Salute the Bud, but Bud's a cheater.
But we could understand why Shamika loves Bud.
She's supposed to.
She's supposed to.
But these other guys in here talking about Bud got a big dick. That's the reason why I go for him.
Yeah.
We don't respect that. We expect you to say that, not these guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not Roberto Marx and Dark Kent.
Yeah.
We don't expect them to.
Usually somebody named Shamika got a big booty and she want her big booty to be broken in. So that's probably why she like Bud. We get it. But if your name is not Shamika Jackson, looking to get your ass thrashed in, then you shouldn't be talking about dick prints. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be talking about that. I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't. Like, there's something wrong about that. But Ross was making a great point. If you don't have a platform, why the fuck are you even talking? And then the other thing too is, go ahead.
Dark Kent, are you retarded or are you acting stupid? You file a complaint against the commission because it's the commission that's supposed to catch the cheating.
Mm-hmm.
The commission is supposed to catch the cheating of who? Bud.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody files a complaint against the commission because you cheated, it's a complaint against you too.
Exactly.
Why are you going so hard to suck this man's dick?
Exactly.
You're going too hard to gag on another man's dick. He's under investigation.
Yep.
That's facts. He's under investigation.
Mm-hmm. I'm not butthurt. I'm gonna say this. I look at the long game. Me and Ross have already said this offline. We just didn't follow all the way through. But when we saw there was a bilateral rematch and it was going to be a 3-fight deal, automatically we thought of Wilder and Fury. We just thought of it. We just told ourselves, you know what? And this is why you should never go into the stupid cocoon of just keep it boxing mindset, because boxing doesn't even just keep it boxing. Every time you go into that route, you kind of fuck your mind up, because boxing don't even do that. Boxing looks at the bottom line before anything else. That's why it's called prize fighting. They're there to get a prize. They're there to get money. Then it's about belts and all of this other shit. Floyd talked about this shit years ago, and people don't pay attention. Right now, all of you Crawford fans are happy because boxing gave Crawford. You got to understand the storyline. Everything is all about story. This is what entertainment is all about, and y'all don't understand. Entertainment is about making sure the storyline matches. Crawford was undisputed at 140. What better storyline to say a black man undisputed 2 times at 147, then Spence beats him at 154? Guess what the storyline is? This I'm trying to help y'all so y'all can see how the storyline is beautiful here. Spence knocks him out in the second fight. Then they say Spence beat a 2-time undisputed champion. Do you see the storyline? A 2-time undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, and then it sets up a trilogy. I'm helping y'all to start thinking, because in boxing that's what they do. They think, and they give you guys the narrative. So now you guys are like, oh shit, Crawford got 2 undisputed belts in 2 weight classes, and then Spence beats him at 154. Damn, Spence beat a 2-time undisputed champion. And now guess what? It sets up a beautiful trilogy. Then in the trilogy, they have an all-out war, and then the person wins the spoils. And then guess what? Now they get to fight Tim Shu for undisputed. You know how we know this? Because Jamel was just stripped of a fucking belt, and now Tim Shu has it. Y'all gotta start looking how everything is traced.
Hold on. Yeah. You're right. Bro said, so why you even watch boxing if it's already? Why watch anything on TV? All
Why
that
watch
shit
anything on
staged.
TV? Watch my life.
All that shit staged.
Exactly.
It ain't until you become a grown ass man until you realize how staged this shit is.
I'm
All
gonna
this
give an
shit
example
staged.
here. Ross, and you're gonna agree. Why still fuck women when they give you all of this, these what do they call them? Issues, right? Well, I don't do this, or I don't do that, I don't do that. Why still fuck them? You sound stupid.
Because you know that's what comes with it. You should know
Exactly.
as a man, if you deal with a woman, she gonna be complaining about shit for no
Yeah.
fucking reason. She gonna have days out the week where she being a weirdo.
Yep.
Um, um, she gonna try to test your masculinity every now and then. You gonna have to
Exactly.
check it and put it in a fucking place. All that
Yep.
shit come with it. So why watch anything? Why do anything?
Exactly.
The problem is you don't stop living because you know because you're starting to realize a lot of this shit is the matrix and it's not actually real. Anything that has
Exactly.
anything to do with celebrities, you have to take with a grain of salt that it may not just be real. Think about it. The
Exactly.
niggas who killed the nigga who killed Pop Smoke only got 4 years.
Yep.
Tory Lanez has got 10 years
Yep.
for for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the foot, where one doctor said she was not shot ever and she stepped on glass, and another doctor went contrary to that diagnosis. So just that in itself means that's not beyond a reasonable doubt. Because
Hmm.
before you get found guilty, you're supposed to be found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You got 2 doctors saying 2 conflicting things. You got witnesses all saying conflicting things. Yet the man still went to jail. So what's the bigger picture?
Exactly.
Is it even about Megan Thee Stallion or is it about what he was doing in the industry?
Hmm.
And when they say he going to jail regardless, no matter what the fucking no matter what the evidence say, he going to jail regardless. Because what the evidence says is that this is a hung jury. In
Hmm.
that case, should be thrown the fuck out. So why
Hmm.
do anything then? This is 2023. This is America. Damn near everything you look at is fake. You think
Fake.
LeBron James? You think LeBron James really great? You don't see that? You don't see that they rigged the NBA so he can have success? You don't see
Exactly.
that? But Kobe, they wouldn't let Kobe play. They wouldn't let Kobe play with fucking what's his name? I forget dude's name because I just
Oh,
don't like
Chris
him as
Paul.
a person. They wouldn't let him play with Chris Paul, but they'll let LeBron James play with damn near everybody.
Hmm.
You don't see how the shit is rigged for certain people? Come on, man.
You gotta step out of the matrix, man. The matrix is set up to give you that blue beta cuck pill. You gotta eat that red pill, man. You gotta listen to Morpheus when Morpheus tell you take the fucking red pill. Because once you take the red pill, you step out of the bullshit, man. And you see, yeah, you are right, bro. When you are right, you are right. Gotta give you that. Salute to my brother Ross. When it's all said and done, the bottom line is You guys have to get the red pill, man, because that's the only way you're gonna see shit for what it is. Because this right here is not making sense. Earl's lumped up in Spain. He has no lumps. 2 weeks later, Earl looks like the way he looked before the fucking fight. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, if 57 of y'all motherfuckers that's listening to us right now cannot see this shit for what it is, you can't be helped. And there's no therapy, there's no psychology, there's no therapizing that's going to help your rabbit ass. And I'm just going to be very clear with y'all, because you have to understand, entertainment and the media, they actually go by how much they can get away with, basically how stupid you guys are. They test your stupidity every fucking time.
They
They're seeing, okay, you know what? Let's put something out there, a filter out there, just to see if these dumb motherfuckers, I could see them talking about y'all behind the scenes like that, to see if these dumb motherfuckers are going to fall for it. And when they see that you fall for it, then they go extra hard. Like Canelo Alvarez and Jamel Charlo. Let's put undisputed versus undisputed, because these motherfuckers are dumb. They love terminologies. They love catchphrases. So let's say that so it sounds like it has pizzazz. We're not going to question it because it's not Jamal Charlo. We're not going to question it because it's not David Benavidez. We're not going to question it because it's not Demetrius Andrade. We're just going to accept it because it has a Charlo name behind it. And you know what? They saw how stupid you guys were because you realized, said, oh, it's a great fight. So guess what they did? They put it on the promotion docket.
listen. The American media told the American public when JFK died, he was hit so many times because it was a magic bullet. They
Yep.
said one bullet hit JFK 6 times.
Hmm.
You get hit by a rifle bullet, unless it hit a bone, it's going right through you.
Right through you.
It's going right through you, man.
Yep.
Unless it hit a bone. It's not
Yep.
bouncing around. It's not a 22. A 22 doesn't have the power to shoot through you, so it bounces off ligaments and all that shit. It's a
Yep.
it's a 22 caliber fucking bullet, depending on what
Yep.
type of rifle you have. That shit's
Yep.
going right through you,
Yep.
like a knife through butter. But they said
Mm-hmm.
JFK was hit 6 times by the same bullet. When in reality, he was ambushed and he was shot
Yep.
from angles you couldn't see, down on the ground. He wasn't hit by no rifle. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But they knew the American public would buy that back then, and they don't have to fool everybody. They have to fool
Mm-hmm.
the majority of people.
Yeah, I forgot the terminology for it, but it's the bone, the bullet fragments from the 22 will leave bullet fragments inside of you. That's what it would
That's
leave,
it.
but it's not gonna pierce. Hmm?
It's not going to bounce around in you. It's going to go right
Ex-
through you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And if you do hit a bone and it gets stuck there, you best believe that bone is going to be damn near incinerated. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
but when you look at the video, you can see the driver with a gun right over his shoulder, shooting back at fucking JFK.
And they tell you Earl has neurological damage, but someone who has neurological damage 2 weeks later would not be taking pictures with fans, not sit there, has his face straight, having real straight up conversation. And here's the thing, right after the fight, immediately after the fight, he taps his son in the hand. His son taps him in the hand and he said, you ready for the rematch in December? I'm putting this on blood. We're going to get our get back. But if you have neurological damage, how can you have a competent conversation like that? It wasn't like Mikey Garcia, who was like, what are you saying? I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, Big Tyrone, I'm telling you
I
right
don't know
now.
what's going on.
I'm telling you right now, man. Don't come in here talking about dick prints. Do not come in here talking about dick prints, man. Don't come in and talk about how big Terence Crawford dick is. We don't care, man. We don't get down like that. I'm letting you know right now, man. We do not get down like that, man.
All right, there you go. I got you. And then here's the thing about it. You had a doctor supposedly come on a pro Terence Crawford platform. A doctor that was supposedly on a pro Terence Crawford platform, right? And this doctor supposedly, right, tells you Terence Crawford has neurological damage, and his response was he has glazy eyes or glassy eyes. Do you know how many motherfuckers on the planet got glassy eyes? You know what the doctors tell them when you have glassy eyes? You know what they tell you after they perform eye examination on you, and they tell you your eyes are glassy. They tell you go and wear glasses. Like people actually think when somebody talks, people can't see through the bullshit. Most people on the planet have glassy eyes, and you know what they got to wear? Glasses. Glassy eyes doesn't link you to dementia or Alzheimer's. I was laughing because I was like, this dude literally took his friend, made him put on doctor's scrubs and doctor outfit, basically said, I'm Dr. Edwards. And this is my prognosis on Errol Spence. First of all, when doctors are talking, they don't need to be having a conversation with their wives. That's when I already knew he was off. Well, I was talking to my wife, and I told my wife that Earl Spence has neurological who fucking talks like that? And then at the same time, if you're a doctor and you don't have no affiliation with anybody, you don't even need to be the doctor of the fighter. If you're trying to put yourself out there, you're going to be on every platform, every media outlet to talk about this.
Right.
You're not just going to isolate yourself to one media outlet. Clearly, there was collusion. Clearly, there was bias. And that's why, I had the Jay-Z to 50 cents that shit. You notice it was dead in the water. I dropped one video countering that shit, dead in the fucking water. Sometimes you got to make motherfuckers dead in the water. Now nobody's talking about that neurological damage shit no more. Now they're focusing on, let's get back on, well, we think Terence Crawford won. Because now what they were going to try to say was Terence Crawford's punching ability was so powerful that it mimicked neurological damage in Errol Spence's head. First of all, that is some shit that you get out of a cartoon. That's the shit you get out of a cartoon or an anime, because Terence Crawford never had that kind of power before. Show me previous fights where Terence Crawford has created neurological damage in previous opponents. If you could give me that link
Right.
to that, then I would say that's credible. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man.
Right. No. Terence Crawford hasn't even retired as a fighter yet.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has retired on account of something Terence Crawford has done to them. You know what I'm saying? So he has power, but his power always was took with a grain of salt because he was fighting C-level fighters.
Yeah.
But he never had devastating powers to where every punch he throws, every punch he touches Errol Spence is a punch that hurts. Like, nah, man. You gotta understand one thing, man. That performance was a Grammy, not a Grammy. It was an Oscar award winning performance that they put on. Oscar award winning.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta understand that shit, man. And the only people who actually be like, yeah, who actually believe that shit, hook, line, and sinker, they're people who live in fantasy. At no point you thought, Terence Crawford never hit like this before. Exactly. At no point you didn't think, Errol Spence never been hurt like this before. Mm-hmm. This shit gotta be fake. You automatically assume that shit was real because you live in fucking delusion.
And the only zesty motherfuckers are guys that are Bud Man fans that look at his dick print. You should be calling yourself zesty. You're actually checking out his dick print. Zesty should go hand in hand with you.
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing about it. Guys are proving our points. Of course, you can't get a boxing license if you have neurological damage, so to speak. So that just shows you that doctor was not credible, because it was a pro Terence Crawford channel that was trying to promote something that didn't make any sense. Now, what does make sense and what is evidence and proven is that David Avocado has an active lawsuit on Terence Crawford's gloves. And Everlast came out immediately and said they gave him a batch of defective gloves. That not only criminalizes them, it shows you that tampering was involved. First and foremost, why would you give a professional boxer at the highest level, defective gloves?
Right.
Like, who makes that kind of random mistake? That is clear that they were like, oh shit, we have a lawsuit. We don't want to get our asses sued. This could be a class action. We need to say something real quick to try to play damage control. That's what they're doing right now. And it fucking failed. It failed miserably. because Avocado's team keep putting the pressure. They said we're gonna keep this shit active and we're gonna keep telling people as many as possible, and we're gonna keep putting it out there on many outlets. And I'm glad they're doing that because that was the fight right before Spence versus Crawford. Now all you got to do is take 2 and 2, put it together, and look at the shit that has happened in the Spence fight. Terence Crawford has never showcased Deontay Wilder level power. He's never
Yeah.
showcased Devontae Davis power. He's never showcased Naoya Inui's power. We know those 3 boxers right there, they got fucking power. Their shit is legitimate because we've seen fight after fight these motherfuckers knocking motherfuckers out the way that they're knocking motherfuckers out. But Terence Crawford, no. I don't even want to hear that shit. I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah. One thing I realized about delusional fans, they don't debate in good faith. They just troll and just say
Exactly.
outlandish shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why most of them, I give them 2, 3 warnings on my. I do give them 2 warnings on my channel. Then I just delete them because as a man, I expect logic to come out your mouth. When you're steady saying shit that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, um, it's dumb to me. Top rank, the 24 against PBC, that's false. Where'd you get
Mm-hmm.
those numbers from? You're just saying things.
Exactly.
You're just saying things. Like, that's totally false.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a ledger. How many times these guys fought each other?
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to have a ledger of who's the A side. Who you have to have a lot. You just saying things.
Mm-hmm.
21-4. Okay, name the 21 fighters then. Name
Actually, if he says 21-4, it's 25 fights. So name the 25 fights.
name them.
Mm. I
Just
guarantee you,
talking.
they're just hearing other bullshit other channels have said, and they come over here and say it because you know what it is, Ross? We're always the ones that give them the reality check. They hate it. They don't get the reality check nowhere else. But every time they come here, see, you go everywhere else to hear the bullshit. But when you come here, and I got to give it to my boy BOA when he says that, when you come here and get the alpha sphere.
Mhm.
I had to bite his shit, but it is the truth. You can get the bullshit everywhere else, but when you come here and get the alpha sphere. That means you get the truth. Because at the end of the day, we're telling the fucking truth. And motherfuckers hate us for that shit. But you know what? At the same time, they low-key love us for it. You know why? That's why they keep coming back. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna tell them what they don't want to hear. We're gonna tell you what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is you saw a fake fucking fight. What you need to
Yes.
hear is that David Avocado has an active lawsuit against Terence Crawford for tampering with gloves. And here's the caveat too, Ross. Terence Crawford and Tyson Fury are working with the same crime mob crime mob crime
Crime
boss.
boss. Crime boss.
There you go. Crime boss. This dude is a well-known dude. Um and this dude right here has a
Great.
lot of pull in boxing. And he has dealt with Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury's tampered gloves. And this dude is also on Terence Crawford's team with gloves as well too. I just find it. There you go. He said the name. Bam. The Kenyan family, Irish mafia. It's so interesting that Terence Crawford is working with the same mafia family that Tyson Fury is working with. And didn't Tyson Fury have Glovegate? Now all of a sudden, Terence Crawford got Glovegate. See, everything is all coming out. This is what the thing about the truth. Ross loved when I said it, and this applies here. The truth hurts. The truth will set you free. But those whom the truth set free are free indeed. And guess what? The
Yeah.
truth is coming out. Because
Here's the
how all
thing.
of a sudden you got this mafia guy, you got this crime mob, you got this boss, and Tyson Fury all of a sudden is banned in the US. They should be banning Terence Crawford in the US as well too for using the same motherfucker that's not even from US soil.
And
That's what I'm saying.
here's the thing. Everyone like to say Deontay Wilder was just making excuses. There was no proof that he got cheated. Then how come they ruled in his favor and said Tyson Fury could no longer fight in the United States? They kept it on the hush but they ruled in his favor that Tyson Fury can no longer fight in the United States.
Uh-huh.
If Tyson Fury's so clean, why the fuck he can't fight in the United States? If he's so clean, then why is he linked to glove tampering? Why is he linked to PEDs? Clean fighters aren't linked to these things.
Exactly.
And if Bud is who he said he is, how come Bud is linked to a guy that's dirty? And why is it that Bud doesn't look the same like he looked in every other fight, his last fight?
Yep.
If he's clean. You got Google, you look up the information. We don't work for you, man. Anybody in this day and age, if you don't know something, it's because you don't want to know. So why the fuck
I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna help him out. I like to help people out.
I don't. Cause I know that they're doing that. They're doing that as just as a gaslight. Then he's not gonna click on that.
Yep.
He's not gonna click on that.
Yep.
Because if he wanted that,
notice the names, right? It says Daniel Kinahan and Terence Crawford, and it shows you since 2021, September 2021. There you go. You got your evidence right there.
You gotta understand.
You've been fact checked. You've been fact checked, motherfucker.
All of the evidence is on Google. If you're asking us to look it up because you don't want to know, and you're thinking we're not going to look it up.
Yep.
So therefore, you can have that win. Like, no, if you're asking for something that anybody can look up, it's because you don't want to know it.
Yep.
Vincent Conti was a fucking cheater.
Yep.
This Irish mob dude tied to cheating. Tyson Fury tied to cheating.
Yep.
You notice how Mexican and white fighters could get away with cheating, and black fighters who side with white mafia could get away with cheating, but regular black fighters can't? You think Errol Spence could get away with tampering his gloves? If Errol Spence had an open case on him with tampered gloves, all y'all would be talking about it right now.
Yep. Because at the time of the fight night, we didn't have all of the evidence. And when you don't have all of the evidence, you got to go by what's presented in front of you. We're class personified dudes. So we're going to tell you what is in that moment. We don't speak out of our ass like all of these other YouTubers and all of these other content creators. They speak out of their ass. They just want to tell you whatever just to tell you. We're going to tell you what we know in the moment. But of course, we are guys that research our asses off. So when we find out more information, you're going to get more information. That is how real media works.
Have you ever heard of the word political?
Yep.
When the media wants to spank somebody on a hand whom they like, they say it's one thing when it's really something else.
Exactly.
Tyson Fury knowing somebody who's happened to be on an Interpol list don't got shit to do with his boxing career. If he was clean, they could not legally say he can't fight in America.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything wrong. He has to cheat and be caught cheating for them to say he can no longer fight in America.
Yep.
They can't attack his boxing career because he knows somebody who may be a criminal, unless that criminal is helping him cheat. And Bud Crawford knowing this, why would Bud Crawford then do business with that guy?
Yep.
Unless he wanted him to help him cheat as well. Why would Bud Crawford?
When you say stupid shit like why you making fight predictions for a scripted fight, that's the same way of why keep fucking bitches even though they give you headaches. It's the same thing as that. Don't you still fuck them? Like, you sound ridiculous.
Here's the thing. A lot of people like to call their platforms boxing talk, but they know absolutely shit about boxing or how
they don't know shit about it.
They don't know shit about boxing or how the world works. Errol Spence losing doesn't make me lose a wink of sleep.
Oh, you welcome.
Hold on.
See, Ross, I just want to say this real quick while you talk. You see? It was good to fact check. I like when we fact check a motherfucker and a motherfucker could man up and say something.
But the problem that he's in here is talking so boldly and he doesn't know that lets me know these guys are fucking idiots.
Yep.
Why are you in here talking so boldly and you don't know what you're talking about?
Exactly.
And no, we don't supposed to drop links. You're supposed to.
No, I'm not dropping. No, I'm not dropping it. It was earlier. If you didn't catch it earlier,
I'm talking about this nigga that said drop a link No,
Mm,
no links will be dropped. Go to Google and search for this shit. You care
exactly.
about boxing, right?
Yep.
If it was about a boxer you didn't like, you would have been Googling it. You would have Googled it. If it was about a boxer you didn't like, but
Yep.
you like Terence Crawford, so you ignore the fact he's in bed with Conte, who was the cheater. He's in
Yep.
bed with the Irish mob dude, who's a cheater.
Yep.
He's good friends with Tyson Fury, who's also a cheater.
Mm-hmm.
Fighters who don't cheat normally don't even be friends with fighters who cheat. They don't respect them. But why Bud love Tyson Fury so much? Cause he wants
Mm-hmm.
to learn from him. How the fuck you pull that off?
And Dark Kent, since I proved you right, hopefully you're not reporting the channel no more. Now you can turn back and say, well, he knows, proved that there was credibility behind this. Him and Tom Ross. So you know what? Now you need to go to every channel and start saying, man, he knows in Tom Ross. Not only are they talking, they're not talking out of their ass. They're speaking the truth. Just like you say what you just said right here. Thanks for the link. You didn't know that. You have a responsibility now, knowing the truth, to go everywhere and say these guys right here, they can back up the shit that they say. That I'm putting that on you now. You have the responsibility to do that. Y'all motherfuckers that was listening in, we gave you the link. We explained to you guys that we don't all when we in Ross speak, we never speak from a position of weakness. We speak from a position of strength because Tom Ross's position and his catchphrase is separate the weak from the strong. Well, obviously we're the strong. So we're separating ourselves from the weak. If you're in the weak man's position and you don't do the research and you don't do the evidence, that's on you. But the evidence is there. The proof is in the pudding. How much shit do you guys need? When something can be traced back to a starting point, do the math. Why are you now getting involved with a crime mob guy in September 2021? Do the math, Raw. September 2021 was when the Spence and Crawford shit started really heating up. So of course you're gonna get with a dude like that because you had every intentions on saying, you know what? I don't want this motherfucker to properly retire me. I don't want to be scared and petrified. So I need enhancement. I need that super soldier serum cocktail. Then you start working aggressively with Victor Conte, who is a pharmacist who can legalize undetectable PEDs. Do the fucking math. And if you guys are sitting here and you want to just keep it on a boxing level and be stupid, that's on you. But boxing doesn't care about your stupidity. You know what they care about? Your 84.99 that they made for the fight. That's what they care about. As long as you pay 84.99 to watch the fight, or you take your ass and sit your ass in that damn stadium, that's all they give a fuck about. They don't care how stupid you are. They don't care how dumb you are. They just care about your participation in the fucking fight.
Right. They don't have to. They don't have to convince everybody. They have to convince the majority of idiots.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it. They don't have to convince anybody. Anybody who believes that fight that Errol Spence was at his best in that fight, they're either
Uh-huh.
an idiot or they're the type of person whom they don't care how someone wins, as long as the person they want wins.
Uh-huh.
So I don't respect no Crawford fight that can't admit Errol Spence wasn't at his best. If you can't admit that, nothing you says means anything to me, and you're not a man to me. Period.
Look, man, we've been entertaining you guys for over an hour right now, and it's disrespectful when motherfuckers don't donate to motivate, man. Where's the donations, man? Where's the donation? Where's the donating to motivating, man? By now, we usually are over $100 in donations, man. What's up with the donations, man? Donate to motherfucking motivate, man. Everybody should be donating to motivating because you're getting pure entertainment here, pure fucking entertainment. And we're telling you guys the truth, and we're proving to you guys everything that we could say. This was a fake fight. This was a scripted fight. This was a WWE fight. This was everything that you guys didn't want to believe. The only way that this fight would not be scripted is if Earl Spence won. That's the only way. Because when Earl Spence wins, it's the natural order of boxing. That's how it works. Terence Crawford winning this fight is a fake fight. Yes, I said it and I'm going to say it again. Terence Crawford is not supposed to win. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Not when you're looking at both fighters for what they bring to the table. Not if you're looking at both of their resumes, not if you look at both of their fights, not if you look at the strength of opposition, not if you look at everything for what it is. When you sit there and you look at the way that the fight ended up happening, it tells you everything you need to know. No VADA testing. Gloves weren't even checked by the referee at the end of the fight. This is shit that's supposed to happen. The sanctioning bodies are supposed to check the gloves at the end of the fight. They didn't do that. Terence Crawford holds on to his gloves the whole time and doesn't take it off until he gets backstage. Derrick James touching Terence Crawford's gloves and looking at Terence Crawford's gloves and wondering what the fuck is going on. Like, you guys have to understand. Oh, it's 61 now, Ross. Genius.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to understand. It's like, what the fuck, 62 now? What the fuck is going on when we sit there and we look at the magnitude of this? And in its biggest magnitude, you guys have to start using your fucking brains. And boxing has revealed this to you. It showed you against Cotto versus Margarito. Everybody was praising Antonio Margarito until what? Weeks later. What? He had loaded, padded gloves. Terence Crawford, here's the thing. That fight was weeks later they found out. Terence Crawford is already documented before the fight having this shit. And you would think that all of y'all would be in an uproar. No, you're not in an uproar. What the fuck?
But you want to know why it is? I guarantee you, everybody in this comment section is younger than 30 right now. Everybody, because after a certain generation, they stopped teaching critical thinking and they stopped teaching context clues in public schools. What context clues did was it taught you how to fill in the blanks. So you didn't need everything to see what was going on. And what critical thinking taught you was how to question everything.
Yep.
This generation was not taught that. So this generation was just taught whatever people say it is. If they're a quote unquote credible source, then it has to be right. So if they're white, if they're a police officer, if they're a doctor, then whatever they're saying got to be true. If they're on TV, if they have a title, then what they're saying is facts. But they have not been taught to think for themselves. So there's people in this comment section who probably believe Tory Lanez actually shot Shorty in the foot because they never see someone get shot before. So you don't know how someone looks when they get shot in the foot. You don't know they could barely walk when they get shot in one foot, let alone two. You also don't understand how many bones, ligaments, and blood vessels that there is in the foot. How is it that a bullet didn't hit any of that? You got shot in both of your feet, right? But you're able to walk and twerk 3 days later. You could step on some glass and twerk 3 days later, but you can't get shot point blank range in both feet and twerk 3 days later. But when you haven't been taught critical thinking and context clues, guess what? You'll believe any motherfucking thing. You'll believe anything. So these are the same people who won't question the fight because they don't want to take away from the fighter who won. But why are you so invested in the fighter where you can't say that didn't look right?
Yep.
Why are you so invested in the fighter to where you can't say that? Who cares? Why do you care so much if Bud Crawford get all the respect he needs? Because you feel like you didn't get all the respect in your life.
Exactly.
You feel like people don't respect you, and you feel like you and Bud Crawford connected. And you tired of not getting respect. So you want Bud Crawford to get all his respect because somehow, some way, you think Bud Crawford getting his respect means something for your life.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, if you don't deserve respect, you don't get it.
Exactly.
If the fight would have looked normal, I would have gave him the respect. I gave him the respect. But as I started looking at it and I started taking everything into consideration, looking at Errol Spence before the fight, looking at him before other fights, I was like, none of this shit is the same.
Salute to Marathon Man 92 for sending a $10 cash app.
Salute. It's not the same. So, and the same thing with the Tory Lanez shit. I know homies who got cases. I had homies go to jail for murder. had homies go to
Mm-hmm.
jail for attempt murder. I know people
Mm-hmm.
who went to jail for shooting somebody in the foot. They ain't get 10 fucking years, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole decade. But if you don't know these simple things, you think that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tory Lanez got 10 years. Well, he should have held a gun. He should have been doing this. He should have been doing that. You wasn't there. You don't know what happened. And you don't know how the law really supposed to play out. Nobody's supposed to go to jail for 10 years for shooting somebody in the foot, man. They ain't attempt murder. That's
Mm-hmm.
assault with a deadly weapon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. 10 years or better is what you get from murder. Pop Smoke's
Mm-hmm.
killers didn't even get 10 years. And they killed them in cold blood. They only got 4.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Planet 619.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, man. Salute.
Yes.
And that's the thing right here. The reason why I was slow to react to what I was saying is because when you see a fight at this level, that means it's not just Bud.
Yep.
And
Both sides.
that means there's somebody on the other side too.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, Ross? When you went as hard as you did last week, I'm glad you did that. You saying, you know what? No one is everyone has to be looked at. No one is clean from this. Everyone got their hands dirty. I'm glad you said that because you know what? When something like this happens on this magnitude, everybody's at fault. Now I'm gonna say this, Jojo.
Yeah.
You want us to drop a link? We'll give you 5 minutes to talk, but you're gonna have to donate $100 cash app. If we're gonna have to listen to your nonsense for 5 minutes, drop $100 cash app. You
Me
do that right
personally,
now, we'll listen to you for 5 minutes.
me personally, I'll say 25. 25 for 5. 25 for
Okay.
5. I think that's
Okay.
fair. 25 for 5. And you can say
Okay.
where the fuck it did, but this is his platform. I'm a guest on his platform. Now, when it comes to these lies, he tells me we're 50-50, but this still his platform. He can say, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Hey, Tom Ross, hey, listen, at the end of the day, you talking too much, and I can just be like, all right, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But
Now,
25
now,
for
Ross,
25.
Ross, Ross. I don't have a problem with what Ross said. I don't have a problem with Ross said. If you donate $25, I'm gonna give you a minute and a half. Because if I got to stomach your bullshit, $25 a minute and a half will be fair enough. But you're gonna come in with some crazy shit, and then we're gonna see your crazy looking face, and you're taking away from our live. So you have to pay us for taking away. So if we're gonna see you in some
No,
stain
no,
hole white beater or some bullshit, you gotta pay us $100, man.
and no, that's not how the law works. Shooting a gun is not potentially, there's no potentially attempt murder. Attempt murder has a definition. Murder has a definition. Assault with a deadly weapon has definitions, man. You can't make shit up as you go along. Shooting somebody in the foot is not attempted murder. It's not. It's assault with a deadly weapon. Shooting somebody center mass is attempt murder. Shooting somebody in the head is attempt murder. Shooting them center mass in the back is attempt murder.
Uh-huh.
Not in the foot. You can't just say shit because it sound good, man. All these things
Uh-huh.
have definitions, bro. It's good for y'all to pick up a book every now and then for y'all come on this bitch trying to talk to grown men.
Woo, shit.
Man, super chats unfortunately not available. You talk to the two people who have went against a lot of narratives, and YouTube has taken our super chats. But what you can do is just donate to He Knows Everything. He'll give you the Western, and he'll split it with me
Yep. Yeah. Send it
to
the
make it
same way
simple.
you sent it. Sent it the same way you sent it through the Cash App, man.
Yeah, this cash app, man.
Just
But
Cash App that shit.
I appreciate you, man, for even thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Garcia is a garbage fighter, but Danny Garcia, guess what? He beat Terence Crawford.
Yep. You see,
Terence
Ross,
Crawford.
every time we pull these dudes' hoes card, they don't want to talk. You want to talk. We give you the opportunity to talk. But pay that damn Cash App. And then they freeze up. You wanted
Because
to talk, right?
motherfuckers don't really believe what they say. That's why he want to come on this bitch and troll. And
Exactly.
everybody know trolling is free.
Yep.
Everybody know trolling is free. So as long as he
Yep.
can troll for free, he ain't
Yep.
finna pay. That's why I said some of these
Exactly.
niggas you need to get up out the chat. Niggas
There
is
you go.
trolling, need to get up out the chat.
Lifeline Music. There you go. That's the Cash App right there, man.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the motherfucking day, you gotta understand this thing. Megan Thee Stallion was somebody who they wanted to beef up, but no matter how many no matter how many features they gave her, she couldn't get that. She couldn't get that real buzz. Well, you realize
Mm-hmm.
Megan Thee Stallion, a lot of these people, they have a manufactured buzz. They're really not big like that
Yep.
because they can't sell out no shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know you're really big when you can sell out shows
Facts.
consistently. Little Baby and them, they can't sell out shows. The Baby can't sell out shows. NBA YoungBoy, all these guys who don't have talent, nobody comes to see them personally.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, say what you say about Beyonce. Beyonce has real talent. Beyonce sells out shows.
Yep.
So they said, how can we make her a big name? We have to make her what? We gotta make her a sympathy figure.
Yep.
Same way they use Kanye West to make Taylor Swift a sympathy figure. Nobody even knew who Taylor Swift was until Kanye West said, listen, you don't deserve this fucking medal. You don't deserve this trophy. He made her a celebrity, a big celebrity overnight. Now she can sell out millions of shows all the time. Same thing with old girl. They was gonna use him to bolster her career. So if she blows up all of a sudden now after this is over, you know what it's because now she's a sympathy
Mm-hmm.
figure. Same thing with Rihanna. Rihanna's super big now, but Rihanna wasn't big at the time. Where she wasn't big like that at the time. But when such and such beat her ass or supposedly allegedly beat her up, Chris Brown.
Facts. Exactly.
But they used that. They used that. We never really got the specifics of what happened. All we know is she was a victim.
Yep.
Once you make a woman a victim and she's already has a celebrity status, it voices her career. The same
Facts.
thing. This shit was manufactured.
Mm-hmm.
But Crawford didn't have the star power enough to make big
Mm-hmm.
fights. Nobody never wanted to watch Bud Crawford fight. He got 150,000 pay-per-view at the most.
Yep.
But now that he beat Errol Spence, he's a household name.
Name
He's everywhere now.
everywhere.
Y'all understand?
CBS morning shows never wanted to deal with Terence Crawford. Now they got him on there. Come on, man. Y'all
Yeah,
got to see this shit for what
you
it
gotta,
is.
you gotta understand what's going on, man. At the
Yep.
end of the day, you gotta understand you're watching something cricket.
Yep.
And every now and then, a real nigga slipped through the cracks. Kobe Bryant
Yep.
slipped through the cracks. Kobe Bryant was never supposed to be that nigga. They never wanted Kobe Bryant to be that nigga. That's why they fought him the whole way.
Yep. And that's what
They
they
never
doing with
wanted.
Earl Spence right now. That's what they doing with Earl.
That's what they doing with Earl. They never wanted Floyd to be that nigga. So they fought him the whole way. Well, you not supposed to be that nigga. They never wanted Muhammad Ali to be that nigga. Right? They stripped him in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some niggas slip through the cracks and make sports real, but sports be fake a lot of the times, man. Y'all that still believe in wrestling, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. These niggas still think wrestling real, man.
Yeah, that's what they think.
That's the problem. Y'all want to let this shit go? Y'all men. Y'all really think sports
Yep.
is all the way 100% real?
Yep. Facts.
Spence didn't do
Facts.
400,000 buys. Spence did over 750 buys, but that's just domestic. They probably did
Yep.
a million worldwide. Get your
Yep.
numbers right before you talk.
Exactly.
Get your numbers up, man.
Yep. Look at this. Spence's face was all busted up by the fourth round. 33 years old and never that kind of damage before. He's not predisposed to having that kind of damage. Notice he still didn't get cut up. Thank you.
Still didn't get cut up, man. And he's already healed.
Yep. Wolverine, dog. Wolverine.
You
Shout out to my boy Oxtail for using that term, calling him Earl Wolverine Spence. That motherfucker's Wolverine.
You gotta understand when you're a nerd, when being a nerd is your normality, then you want someone who you think is an underdog to win, and you don't care how they win. You don't care if they got to cheat. You don't care if they got to take PDs. You don't
Yep.
care. You don't care if they got to lace their gloves. You don't give a fuck because
Yep.
you're a nerd. Being a nerd is your normality.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody you think you deem as an underdog, you want them to win. My personality is as long as you cool with me, I'm cool with you to another level. If you don't cause no problems with me, that means and I'm kind of like Tony Soprano when it comes to this shit. If I'm fond of you, then not only am I would go out my way to protect you. So
Mm-hmm.
since I was on the chess team, but I wasn't a nerd, none of the nerds got fucked with. In my
Mm-hmm.
when I went to my high school, did you know when I graduated, I had like 50 nerds hugging me and shit? Because I didn't go there freshman year. I came there sophomore year and I graduated to my senior year. But
Yeah.
none of them got fucked with because they knew me.
Yep.
We talking about we had bullies, we had gang, all them. But I've been so many different. I'm in so many different genres. The dope dealers, the gangbang, all that. I know everybody, and I played chess. So none of the nerds got fucked with. And I went to a HTML class at the end of school. It was all nurses. I'm the only real nigga in there taking that class because
Mm-hmm.
they paid you $250 a week. I said I'm gonna get that money. So I say that to say nerds are very, very loyal to people who they think are nerds too, or people who have protected them.
Yep.
So when you're a nerd or when you're a lame and you look at Bud, you realize this dude's really a lame that can fight. You're gonna you're gonna be super overprotective of his career as if it's yours.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, as a man, if something don't look right, I'm gonna say it.
Yep.
If Bud Crawford would have beat Errol Spence fair and square, because I didn't get to see the preset. I saw the preset later when I watched the fight the second time. I was having issues here. I had to go off of what he was saying until like the third round. When I saw the whole fight and saw the
Mm-hmm.
pre-workouts and I saw Errol Spence, I said, bro, don't look right.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Errol Spence don't look right. When I saw the first round and I saw he came out and he was already losing balance as he was walking up to Crawford, I said, bro, not right.
Yep.
So what kind of man ignores the fact that Errol Spence wasn't right?
Exactly.
What kind of man ignores that?
I want you to say this real quick, Ross. Um, Buckle up, boxing talk. You about to get debunked because I know Ross is a Floydologist. So Ross, I want you to tear this shit to shreds real fucking quick, man.
Don't worry, I'm doing a 3-part series of Floyd starts tonight. We're gonna find out why he was never undisputed at 5 divisions. The 4 belt weight class. Do you know how many? It's only been 2 people undisputed in the 4 belt weight class. That's been Crawford right now, and that's been Zab Judah. So
Uh-huh.
it's not just Floyd. It's all the welterweights. So
Uh-huh.
you can't just say Floyd. It's all the welterweights. But when when you're the lineal champion, that means you're the man. That means you beat everybody that can be beat. That's worth beating in that weight class. So how is it you could beat everybody that you have to beat in the weight class and still not be undisputed? That's the sanctioning bodies at that point.
Uh-huh.
Zab Judah was undisputed. Zab Judah then fought who? He fought Baltimore and he lost.
Yep.
Floyd Mayweather beats Baltimore and Zab Judah back to back. It still not claimed. It's still not deemed undisputed. That's boxing politics. That ain't for lack of trying.
Yep.
How the fuck do I beat 2 undisputed fighters back to back and not be undisputed? What else?
Exactly.
What else was he supposed to do?
Yep.
What else was Floyd supposed to do to be undisputed?
Yep.
He beat an undisputed fighter, and he beat the guy that the undisputed fighter beat, and he beat the undisputed fighter back to back. And both. So what else is he supposed to do?
Exactly.
Is it his
So
fault? Is it his fault they don't pay sanctioning fees If they don't have the belts at the time he beat them, so is that a problem with the sanctioning bodies or a problem with Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
Exactly.
Many great welterweights weren't undisputed in the 4-belt era because that's why they made so many belts. They make it hard to be undisputed.
Yep.
When Sugar Ray Leonard was undisputed, it was only 2 belts.
Yep.
It was only 2 belts.
So buckle up, boxing talk. You've been debunked, and Shamika, if I was you, I wouldn't even waste my time watching that 3-part bullshit because Ross just tore that shit to shreds right now. Go ahead, Ross.
She's gonna watch it because she's a Bud fan. So what they did now is, when people don't realize is all this shit is about Floyd. Floyd retired. He retired undefeated and beating the most champions in boxing history, right? Mass media don't like that. Mass media, even in the face of that, said Manny was better, and boxing had to tell mass media, y'all wrong. Floyd better.
Yeah, we got two cash apps that came in. Salute to SJ Hampton for $10 and Ken Johnson for another $10. Appreciate y'all.
The BWA had to come in and tell ESPN, y'all wrong. Floyd Mayweather is the boxer of this decade. Boxing Rec, who doesn't take personal opinion, they have an algorithm that they just plug in numbers that said Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time.
Yep.
So now what they have to do is they have to beef up Crawford. How do you beef up Crawford? What's best to beef up Crawford and to have him beat the guy who supposedly gave Floyd Mayweather problems in sparring. You know what I'm saying? Now they do that. The guy who supposedly gave Floyd problems in sparring, they have Bud Crawford beat easily.
Exactly.
How does that make sense? Bud Crawford ain't nothing like
no fucking sense.
So how the fuck do he beat him easily? You have to understand. If it don't make sense of it in your mind.
Now, is that term you used to use? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Or you could say, you know what? I just don't like Errol. I will accept this from a Bud fan. If you say I ain't gonna make sense of a goddamn thing because I just don't like Errol Spence and I'm glad he lost, I will salute you and I will respect that. But don't try to act like the fight you just saw was perfect and nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
What fight? Okay, I'll entertain this for the sake of entertainment one time. What fighter did Floyd do? And I guarantee you, it was a fight. I guarantee you, it was a fighter who came before Floyd who should have made a fight with Floyd. What fighter did Floyd do? I'll entertain that. Give me one.
Y'all gonna get counted for days, boy.
Give me one. If Pretty Boy Floyd stops Bud. Bud got hurt by Gamboa, please. Floyd got hurt by a perfect punch. One time in his whole career. Perfect punch.
Facts.
And he ain't hit with that punch. He got hit with that punch twice. The rest of the fight, he dog walked. So name me what fighter did Floyd do? Because Terence Crawford is not no Floyd. We know that for a fact.
No, for 1,000% fact.
Prime Cotto ducked Floyd. Prime Cotto was. Do y'all watch these fights? Prime Cotto was at the Arturo Gatti fight. And after the Arturo Gatti fight, he ain't called Floyd's name out ever again.
Prime Margarito ducked Floyd. That's why he fought Manny. He went the Manny route. Paul Williams ducked Floyd. And it was revealed that he ducked Floyd because he got exposed by Sergio Martinez. And Sergio Martinez is nowhere near the fighter as Floyd Mayweather. Sergio Martinez is what you would call a poor man's version of a Spanish Roy Jones Jr. Prime Pac-Man ducked Floyd because Pacquiao was trying to be on steroids and Floyd said, no, you need to do doping testing. And then 7 days out, Pac-Man was like, no, I don't want to get my blood tested. So what are you talking about?
These motherfuckers be saying a Prime Floyd about fighters who Floyd older than.
Exactly.
Floyd older than Manny. So if
Yep.
anything, Manny tried to outweight Floyd.
Yep.
Floyd
He tried
older
to
than
age him
Manny.
out. He tried to age him out.
So let me get this straight. It's Manny who didn't fight the prime Floyd. It's Manny who didn't fight the prime Floyd.
Yep.
And at one point was Floyd Mayweather available for a Paul Williams fight? You can't just
Yep.
say these fighters didn't fight. So the fighter that I don't like that fighter.
Exactly.
Do y'all know some people actually was watching boxing during this time? Some of y'all
Yeah.
didn't start watching. Some of y'all didn't start watching boxing until Floyd fought Cotto,
Yep.
and it shows. And it shows. A lot of these people y'all say Floyd wasn't even available.
They weren't
To fight.
available. Yep.
People got to be on the same. This is the reason why you think Errol Spence didn't fight for the last 2 years. So him and Crawford could finally get on the same cycle so they could fight because Crawford kept ducking the fight.
Yep. Look at this. You see, we just converted Terence Crawford fanboy man crusher, Bud Man fan into truth. That's why I said when you listen to Ross break down Floydology, he's the Floydologist. Look how he talking.
You got understand? But the thing is, a lot of guys they just like Crawford, so they have boxing knowledge. But when it comes to their favorite fighter, they'll just overstep their boxing knowledge because that's their favorite fighter, and they don't give a fuck. But when it comes down to Floyd ducking, people gotta understand one thing. How is it that these guys all of a sudden wanted to fight Floyd after Floyd became the bag?
Yep.
Why weren't they calling out Floyd before De La Hoya?
And when Floyd was calling all them out, you know what they were saying? Oh, he ain't fought nobody. They forgot that part. They forgot that time.
Sergio Martinez would have lost easily against Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, he would have lost easily, man.
Yeah, which I don't understand. It's just there's just levels in boxing. That's the reason why I don't believe this fight between Errol Spence and Bud, because he's not Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yep,
he's not that level. Even Pretty Boy Floyd would not beat a prime Errol Spence like that.
Exactly.
You got to watch boxing and understand the type of power and the type of skill you would need. Now, Bud was beating everybody in the first round his whole career because he fought all C-level fighters until he fought Errol Spence.
Exactly.
And he fought Sean Porter after he fought some guys who weren't C-level.
No, you're right. You're right with C-level because Sean Porter was C-level by the time he fought him. Kell Brook was C-level by the time he fought him.
If he was knocking all them niggas out in the first round, then I would I would be like, this is possible. It's possible that he could do that. But he struggled with C-level fighters. And now you can just walk through Errol Spence. Y'all understand that don't happen?
Beta males, that's why they call them beta males. They watch every move. Beta males always follow everything alphas do, dog. Yes, I was brushing my teeth with chicken because I was enjoying the fact that I was drinking and eating. I'm pretty sure you probably was watching Ross sipping on what he was sipping on, or no, he wasn't sipping on his edibles. Like, why y'all watch every little thing that we do, and we appreciate that. But guess what? Donate to motherfucking motivate, man. How about that? If you're watching everything that we do, donate.
Paul Williams was a tall fighter that didn't know how to use his height. Do you know what happened to Paul Williams? The same thing that happened to Diego Corrales. They pretty much the same fighter. Paul Williams ain't nothing but a bigger Diego Corrales.
Ooh.
He would have got stopped, man. He would have got stopped. That's just my opinion. He lost to Sergio Martinez.
Yep.
Sergio Martinez ain't Floyd. A lot of these guys are the truth until you compare them to Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Exactly.
That's how good Floyd Mayweather Jr. was, man. He knows. I don't know if I told you the story. I boxed from 9 to early part of 11. And then my homeboys stopped boxing, so I stopped boxing. I ain't had nobody pushing me. But I remember my boxing coach was talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. when I was 11 years old. If I was 11, that means Floyd Mayweather was 14, 15 years old. was saying Floyd
Mm-hmm.
Mayweather Jr. is going to be one of the best fighters who ever lived, and this nigga was still a teenager.
Yep.
This nigga was still a teenager, and he was
Mm-hmm.
already being talked as going to be the best fighter who ever lived in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
People already knew him
Mm-hmm.
in the whole other state. They already knew who Floyd Mayweather was. In the boxing circle, everybody knew who Floyd Mayweather was. Everybody knew. I didn't even know who the fuck he was talking about when he said that. I didn't realize who he was talking about until I watched the Olympics in 1996. I said, "Oh, that's Floyd. That's who." I didn't even know who he was talking about. This how great is levels to boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are at a different level. Tiger Woods is at a different level. There'll never be a golfer as great as Tiger Woods.
Oosh, you
Ever.
can say that again, dog. I need you to say that one again.
There'll never be a golfer as great as Tiger Woods ever. He's a
And you
prodigy.
can say that about Barry Bonds too, man.
Some people are prodigies. They're born to do what they do. So no, Paul Williams, I give him the credit, man. The Paul Williams, he's a dog, man. But compared to Paul Williams, no disrespect, Paul Williams ain't shit, man. Compared to
Yep.
Errol Spence, compared to Floyd Mayweather, he ain't shit. Some niggas was born to do this. It's a difference.
Levels, gears.
It's a level. Now, Crawford, let's see what Crawford do at 154 with a hydrated Spence with real gloves. Let's see that, man. Let's see that.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no, man. Spence stopped a Maidana, man.
Yep.
Spence stopped some Maidana, dude. A
Mm-hmm.
pretty boy Floyd would have stopped Maidana. Maidana got beat by a B class Floyd. The Floyd that we see that we
Mm-hmm.
love so much because he was so slick wasn't even the best Floyd Mayweather.
I'm gonna say this real quick. All Spence fans, y'all gotta wait out the long game, wait out after December, because guess what? Me, you, Ross, and all the Spence fans, we are going to be smiling. We're going to be celebrating because we're going to see boxing return back to its natural order of things because Spence is going to knock out Terence Crawford. And when that happens, that's when me, Ross, and all of us could sit back and say, you know what? That's what the fight should have looked like.
You know
Because
what's
when you
crazy?
look at both guys, like Ross was saying and I was saying, Spence is supposed to be the aggressor. Spence is supposed to be the one to be punishing Crawford. This is what I would have believed. If y'all wanted me to believe Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence, this is the only way that I would believe it. Terence Crawford beat him via puncher's chance, meaning Errol Spence was being aggressive for 8-9 rounds, landing punches, and then on one end he got sloppy, overreached, and then Terence Crawford got him with a counter. That would have been believable. But Terence Crawford would have had to been punished the whole damn fight. But Terence Crawford don't get punished. Terence Crawford's the aggressor. Errol Spence is fighting off of his toes. Errol Spence is a sturdy fighter. He doesn't fight off of his toes. He fights very straight. Errol Spence leaving his hands down. Errol Spence not in the high guard the whole time. I mean, the motherfucker gets you. He in the high guard the whole time. And he stalks you like a fucking predator. Earl Spence is not using the jab. First of foremost, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard Terence Crawford say on Sean Porter's podcast. And he gonna pay in December for that shit. Oh, I took away his jab. Jab is the most fundamental weapon you could use in boxing. You can never take away no damn jab. How the fuck was Kell Brook out jabbing his ass, giving him a welt over his fucking eye? Even Sean Porter was out jabbing him. You can never take away a fucking person's jab. That sounds stupid as fuck. Stupid as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say that dumb shit, and Terence Crawford being a boxer that he is, you could tell he ain't really a boxer like that because even he out of his own mouth spewed the same dumb shit. Or I took away his jab. You didn't take away shit. What happened was you basically got everything that you wanted. Spence signed on the dotted line. This is how you know this shit was fake because the A side never gives up A side in boxing. That's when you know that shit is fake. Even Spence, and I was gonna say this, Ross, and I remember my point. Even Spence was so mad that he showed you his anger. Spence said it in the final press. You remember when he said, "Man, and I gave this motherfucker all that shit, and I'm the A side." He was low key kind of complaining, and motherfuckers didn't even catch that shit.
And that's the thing. And two fights that was obviously rigged. Not two fights. I say two scenarios. The A side fighter gave up his A side. Deontay Wilder gave his A side to Fury.
Exactly.
Fury got way too much leeway to be a B side.
Yep.
He got to pick those gloves with horsehair. He got to pick the size of the ring. He got to pick all types of shit he was never supposed to pick. Because these guys be so thirsty to please boxing fans who don't give a fuck about them.
Facts.
Why? Why? Why you so thirsty to please these guys, man? At the end of the day, bro, if you think that fight was actually real, it's because you never really been in no real fight. A dude who you see in the hood who struggle against smaller dudes, and then the next time you see him fight, he knock out a nigga who you know like that. And everything
Hold
he
that
hit
thought, Ross. I gotta say this because it's important. And y'all do this shit on Ross's channel. Y'all do this shit on my channel. I hate when y'all do that shit. When you put links for other videos and you put links on other channels, you take away from us. Your focus is supposed to be us. Stop doing that shit. If we didn't give you permission to put a link to another video or to go to another channel, stop doing that shit. Go ahead, Ross. I just had to say that shit real quick. Friend or foe, stop doing that shit.
Nah, man. Motherfuckers always want to see Floyd go at it with somebody. Floyd's retired, man. Floyd and AB, we want to see them fight for what? Why, man? Why? What would that prove? Floyd's career is over with. No matter what happens, he's solidified. So what does him being an AB? What does that do for his legacy?
Exactly.
That's a I listen to gossip type fight.
Yeah.
Like niggas who pillow talk with their old lady want to see that fight.
Now Floyd will do it. If Floyd get $100 million, because you hear Floyd, he'll tell you, I get $100 million exhibition for $100 million exhibition fight.
Nobody want to pay $100 million for him to fight AB. Like who can not know, man? You don't come and once you leave boxing with your full faculties, you don't come back to boxing.
And this is why Floyd would never come back, because they asked Floyd, why you don't just unretire? Floyd's like, well, hold up, I unretire, and what's the max I can make now? 35 million. I'm making, guys are making anywhere between 5 to 8 million average fight. I'm making average exhibition fight 20 to 25 million, upwards to 100 million. So why would I come back, become active, and get 35 million when I could just stay in this lane of exhibition and make up to $100 million? Do the math.
Fury didn't agree to fight Wilder. Wilder agreed to fight Fury, man.
Exactly.
Y'all don't even know what the fuck y'all
don't even know what the fuck be going on, man. Wilder gave Fury a chance. Fury was a cokehead.
Fury was out of boxing for cheating.
He was a cokehead, man. Wilder gave him opportunity.
Fury was out of boxing for cheating. PEDs, coke allegations, and tamper glove allegations.
Yeah.
Wilder allows Fury back in the fight game. Wilder agreed to fight Fury.
And see, y'all keep thinking Spence do the same thing over and over again because Terence Crawford said it on Sean Porter's podcast. I want y'all to keep that same energy when Spence knocks out Terence Crawford. I want to hear what y'all guys say. You know what they're going to say, Rob? Oh, Spence cheated. They're not going to say Spence actually outboxed Terence Crawford.
They're going to say it's a weight bully. It's a weight bully. Spence beat him at 147, blah, 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 blah. I don't care what they say because they're not real men.
They're not. And then they're not going to think and say, damn, that means Crawford really cheated, because how the fuck did Spence knock him out in the second fight, but Crawford won the first fight? Like, your automatic opinion should be like, oh, this is normal.
When you win a fight that easily in the first time and you don't win the second fight, it was rigged.
Exactly.
It was rigged. Because how you go from being super nice when you can just whoop an elite fighter easily, then the second fight you get whooped?
Exactly.
Nah. If you don't win the second fight in the same demeanor, it was weird.
Yep. And it's just like Hasim Rahman, right? He beat Lennox Lewis. We know why he beat Lennox Lewis, because Lennox Lewis wasn't Lennox Lewis. What happened the second time around? He got his ass.
Nah, the question is, will y'all eat crow? Will Spence win?
Yeah, they know. You know they ain't gonna eat crow.
That's the question. Don't worry about us. What we would eat? Would y'all eat crow or Spence win?
Exactly.
Because we still waiting for Bud to win a legit fight. If Bud win a legit fight, yeah.
Yeah, then we'll give him credit.
Yeah.
But we can't give them credit when we know there's an Irish mobster involved. We can't give them credit when we know there's an active tampering of gloves in his previous fight going on. We can't give him credit because him and Tyson Fury are linked to the same person. We can't give him credit because Everlast came out and said we gave Terence Crawford defective gloves. So we can't give him credit. We can't. Now, in the natural order of things, Spence is supposed to knock out Terence Crawford. So when Spence knocks out Terence Crawford, then you know what me and Ross are going to say? This is boxing. This is what boxing is supposed to look like. This is real boxing because that is what the fate was supposed to be. Terence Crawford is smoking mirrors, so he's supposed to be exposed like the smoking mirrors boxer that he is.
He is, man. Yeah, he is, man. You gotta understand. Without loaded gloves, man, this ain't even a competition.
Nope.
And this makes so much sense that the fight doesn't look normal, and
Yep.
then the guy who we fought prior said, "Man, listen, he cheated."
Yep.
And now it makes sense because
Yeah.
you could see the obvious cheating against Spence.
Exactly. Because you know what he said? You know what David Avocado said? He said, I've been hit with guys heavier and stronger than Terence Crawford. I've been hit with heavy punches my whole career. That his punches felt abnormal. They were artificial. They felt like bricks. They felt like plaster on my face. Why would a boxer say that and nobody come back and say anything? Why would that go under the radar? This is a guy who's professionally getting hit in the face his career, his life. So he would know what a punch feels like. He said, I've
Why,
been hit with guys stronger than Terence Crawford. And those guys did not do the damage that he did to me. I felt like I was being hit with bricks. I felt like I was being hit with plaster. And that goes
yeah,
under the radar. Come on, man.
everybody talk about Wilder can't fight, but then Wilder knock out Fury in the first fight.
Exactly.
You want to know why they gave Fury 15 seconds to get up? Because there's no second fight if Fury don't get up.
Exactly.
Whenever they fight, and whenever they sign a 3-fight deal, before they fight once,
Yep.
it's rigged.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Ross, and you're gonna be like, oh shit. You know that referee that did the 15-second count? He is also connected with the Kanahan family, the Irish mob family. So there's a reason why he did the 15-second count. We forget these referees be low-key connected. That's why he did the 15-second count. Because he probably looked at the Irish mob dude and the Irish mob, hey, look here. You better not call that shit. And then he held on that motherfucker. He held on it. They're connected.
Crafty don't get dominance of elite fighters. Crafty get decisions. Dominance of elite fighters mean you're that much more dominant than them, or you're rigging the fight.
Yep.
It don't matter how crafty you are. You don't beat Errol Spence like that unless your gloves are loaded.
Yep.
Because Errol Spence never got hurt like that before. And you already fought smarter fighters and struggled with them. Like I said, if Bud Crawford was known for knocking everybody he fought and out in the first 3 rounds, I would say, you know what? This is real.
Yep.
But Crawford has struggled with damn near everybody he has fought.
Yep.
So there's no way.
And then all of a sudden, remember, power is the last thing that goes. Spence is not known to have Deontay Wilder dynamic power, but Spence has thudding power of punch resistance. How did his thudding power of punch resistance just disappear overnight? That shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, Bud got 11 knockouts against who? Name them. Name the people he knocked out.
Yes.
Name them. Because once you start naming them, it's gonna make sense.
Exactly. They don't name them. They never name them.
Once you start naming them, it's gonna make sense because anybody can knock them out.
Exactly. Anybody can knock out those tomato cans. They won't do that. They'll always say 11 KO.
I guarantee you, he ain't knock out 11 Errol Spencers.
Exactly.
He ain't knock out 11 Kell Brooks.
Nope.
In their primes. Yeah, that's what the fuck I thought. Name them.
Yep.
Name the 11 people he fight. He knocked out. They're trash.
Garbage.
And he struggled with
tomato fucking cans.
So you believe he struggled with Benavidez, but he could beat Errol Spence easy? You're a damn fool.
Yeah, you something not adding up in your brain.
Yeah, you're a damn fool. So Avocado or evidence said that Bud Crawford used loaded gloves. I believe him. You want to know why I believe him? Because I see the evidence against the Spence fight.
Yep.
That's why I believe him.
And his active lawsuit tells me that. And the fact that he said he got hit, like he felt like he got bricks. Why nobody saying what? Like, why me and Ross got to be the only one say this shit? Why nobody
People,
talking about this shit?
people have been raised to be more feminine than masculine.
Yep.
Think about it. When the last time your mother admitted she was wrong?
Yep.
When the last time your mother used logic? When the last time your
Yep.
mother said something that made sense over what she felt? A lot of these niggas want to believe Crawford won, so they will bend their mindset around that.
Yep.
So they will totally ignore anything to the contrary of that.
Yep.
They will ignore anything to the contrary of that. They know that fight didn't make sense. They know Errol
Yep.
Spence didn't look right. They know Bud Crawford's gloves didn't look right in that fight. How irregular they look. Fighter gloves be round. They
Yep.
be round. Even when they're open, they be round. Bud
Yep.
shit look like it was something sticking out of him.
Derrick James checked the gloves, and Derrick James' face went like this. These motherfuckers don't realize that shit. His face,
Right.
and then Spence went like this. Spence went like this to his elbow. Meaning, hey, you doing too much right now. You doing too much. Motherfuckers didn't even catch that shit. I showed y'all that. He went like this to his damn damn near rib cage. That you doing too much right now.
Yeah.
His face went like this. Like, damn, this motherfucker actually had loaded gloves.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
what motherfuckers don't realize. And then Derrick James said, "Oh," and then he did. You gotta look at the facial expression. Y'all don't understand body language. He looked at it like, "Oh, that's why you won." Okay, I get
he
it
knocked
now.
out
And
Brooks.
then you saw Terence Crawford take the gloves and he go like this immediately. He moved it fast. We all saw what happened. Y'all need to go back and pay attention to all of that.
Yeah. He knocked out Brooks after Spence
I
knocked
do
out.
got a shorts. I do got a shorts where Derrick James checked Bud's gloves. You need to go watch that shorts where he
He
checked
knocked
his fucking gloves and they removed the gloves immediately.
he knocked out
And Terence Crawford didn't even take his gloves off until he got to the back of the locker room. What fighter you know do that? Me and Ross have told you that every fighter have a tendency immediately after the fight, they hate the gloves on them. They tell you take the fucking gloves off them before they even start talking. The gloves is an annoyance. They immediately tell you take the gloves off. Why didn't Bud do that? Why did he wait until backstage to take that motherfucker off? You gotta start using your brain cells. That shit was loaded, man. It was padded. And then I
right.
got another shorts that shows you the extension of his gloves. Go look at it. Go look at the extension on his gloves.
Gloves don't do that.
It is not natural, man.
Gloves don't do that.
No, they don't fucking do
Wherever
that.
the fuck he had in this part of his gloves was hard.
Yep.
It was solid and it was hard. The gloves don't even do that. So he
Yep.
probably was slapping with that part.
Yep.
That part that was hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why he didn't want to get the gloves cut off. But when you want to believe bullshit, you're gonna believe it.
Exactly.
You're gonna believe it, man. You're gonna
Yep.
believe it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Going back to the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion shit.
Mm-hmm.
When you get found guilty, it's supposed to be behind a reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm.
We had witnesses all saying different things. We had doctors with conflicting reports, right? We had lawyers shit in the bed when it came to legality.
Mm-hmm.
None of that shit was beyond a reasonable doubt. But this man still got 10 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to show you in America, it ain't about what's real. It's about what motherfuckers can prove. And it's about who can control the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
It's about who can control the narrative at the end of the day. You got to understand one thing. Crawford all of a sudden gets on snack before this fight.
Yep.
So let me get this straight. If you're a Crawford fan, you have no problem with him being in cahoots with a mob
Mm-hmm.
boss that's dirty, who works for Tyson Fury. You have
Mm-hmm.
no problem with him being in investigation for loaded gloves. And you
Mm-hmm.
have no problem with him being in cahoots with Victor Conti.
Mm-hmm.
None of that's wrong to you.
Now imagine, put the shoe on the other foot and imagine Spence had all of that going on. These motherfuckers would be going crazy. They be going crazy, man.
None of that is wrong. None of that is wrong. None of that.
You know what they would say? They would want Spence to give his belts up. They would say Spence needs to be stripped of his belts. They would say boxing is corrupt, boxing is this, boxing is that. They didn't care as long as he beat Earl. Exactly. Facts.
You gotta understand. Haney didn't have no power before Snack.
Exactly.
PEDs don't give you something you don't have.
Yeah.
PEDs enhance what you do have.
Exactly. Bad example.
Y'all didn't be saying anything. Get this man dick out your mouth.
Exactly. It just enhanced what Devin Haney's good at. Devin Haney's athletic. It enhanced his athletic performance. That's what it enhanced his ability to be able to go long. Devin Haney's a good stamina filled type fighter. So performance enhancement drugs gonna make him more stamina filled. That's how Devin Haney beats you. He beats you with his stamina. It's like y'all motherfuckers don't even know these fighters, man. They don't even pay attention to how these fighters fight.
And then, and one thing I realized is you had people who was glad, you had black people who was glad Wilder lost too.
Exactly.
Y'all didn't see that Wilder knocked Fury out.
You gotta understand, Ross. The Negroes on the PBC side represent unapologetic Negroes. They don't like unapologetic, man. They want those censored Negroes, the Sean Porters of the world. That's why they get behind these motherfuckers. The Terence Crawford. Look at Terence Crawford. Whose podcast is he on? Sean Porter. Do the connection, man.
Yeah.
Do the fucking connection.
But
if somebody's unapologetic,
one thing
they
I always tell people is I did 20 years in the Navy. And they try to say that we come from Africa, that we're African. No, our people migrated from Israel into the western part of Africa, but we not African, man.
Yes.
One thing I realized about Africans is, bro, Africans are big sellouts to the white man, bro.
Yes, they are.
And they're the biggest ones who be telling on black people. They're the biggest ones who turn on us. We are not the same people, man.
Yep.
At all. And a real African will tell you, like, nah, you're not African, you Hebrew. They'll tell they know you're not the same. They was
the one that sold us out. They was the ones that sold us out.
Because we wasn't theirs. We weren't their people. Listen, man, these people go out their way to suck white people's dick, man.
Facts.
I spent 20 years in the Navy. There's no bigger sellout than an African.
Yep.
None. No matter, you can have the biggest cone, the biggest black cone in the world. Do not compare to Africans, man. We are not those people, man. We are Hebrews. They'll let you know. In the western part of Africa, there was a kingdom of Judah, built right next to Ghana, right next to Nigeria, right next to Mali. The kingdom of Judah. We had our own situation there, but we were not those people. And when it came down to it, they sold us off. They
sold us off. They was like, yeah, that's them. That's them.
That's them. These are people y'all looking for. They sold us the fuck off, man.
And you could tell we was different because remember when the Apostle Paul was in prison, they mistaked him for an Egyptian. And they was like, well, you look like the Egyptian. Yeah, we look alike because we got the similar skin color, but we're not the same.
We're not the same.
We're not the same.
We're not the same at all, man. And that's the reason why they be so thirsty. So thirsty to always come to the defense of white people, man. That's why they be like, hey, we need to get our shit together and move. Nigga, how the fuck I'm gonna move from America to Africa? They don't got control over their country over there, man. White people right there.
You're a Ross of tribe of Judah. I'm tribe of Levi.
Yeah. I might as well stay here. Why the fuck I'm gonna go to Africa? They don't even control Africa. White man control Africa, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to y'all continent. Y'all don't control y'all own continent. At least I can say I'm a slave here. Is the reason why I don't control this shit. Y'all don't control y'all own continent. I ain't going over there, man. And that's the problem, man. That's the reason why they're so thirsty. And that's the reason why a lot of regular black people are sellouts too, because they have an African mindset.
Yep.
The African mindset is going along to get along. And that's the reason why the Chinese people putting their foot in their ass over there right now. Going along to get along. Now China run Africa.
Yep.
Chinese men.
Once you Hebrew and you come to the realization that you are Hebrew, Ross always say that everything starts making sense to you, bro. But you got to be awakened at your right time. Ross always says that. Once you get your awakening and you awoken at your time, everything's gonna start making sense to you, and it's gonna be like a flood of knowledge and information that's gonna come to you like that. You never
Yeah.
gonna see the world the same ever again. Never, never.
Chinese niggas just be walking around Africa slapping little babies and shit, doing whatever they
Hmm.
want to do, kicking bitches in the back, anything,
Yep,
man. No,
yep.
you just be seeing African niggas just be watching them do whatever they want. They scary, man.
It's scary.
So how the fuck y'all gonna sit here and tell us about anything, man?
Exactly,
Anything you got to say about boxing don't mean the goddamn thing to us. We've been watching this
exactly.
shit from the gate. We know how racist it is to an unapologetic black man.
Yep.
So y'all ain't gonna tell us that fight was on the up and up when we could see something was wrong with Errol Spence.
Me and Ross had a series called Double Standards that was associated with boxing, and our two main boxers that we used because they were the springboards of it was Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather, and they talked about it so many times. Andre Ward was talking about how he was so dominant at the middleweight division. You don't see Andre Ward never got the credit he deserved for the Super Six. Never got the credit for thrashing all those motherfuckers. Never got the credit for beating up fucking Kovalev, doing all the shit that he did, crushing the Crusher. He should have been the one to get that credit that y'all supposedly give Canelo. He was the one that was supposed to get that, but it's the double standards that's associated with boxing. They try to give Manny Pacquiao the credit that Floyd deserved.
Yep.
But you got box rec, and that's why I love what Ross said with that. Box rec had to be the one to give Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward they just do. And their resume did that. When Andre Ward crushed Kovalev, they had no choice but to make him number one pound for pound. Motherfucker slipped through the crack. When you greatness personification, that shit can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. So when he crushed the Crusher, they had no choice. And Andre Ward said that shit. Y'all ain't got no choice but to make me number one. And that's what they did. They made him number one. They had no
Exactly.
choice but to make Floyd number one when Floyd beat Manny, Canelo. Come on, man. Those names, you cannot knock him. Even platforms like Showbox Pizza Talk had to come back after Ross kept fact checking him on Floyd to say, well, you know what? I have to admit Floyd was better than Manny. I had to admit Loma Chico didn't have the boxing skills.
Hey, delete dude out of the channel. Just the type of dude that will report your channel, bro. Delete that.
All right,
Delete dude out of the channel.
gotcha.
Nobody said anything about anti-China.
There you go. Off.
What we said is y'all weak as fuck, and y'all go out your way to suck these other racist cocks.
Exactly.
That's what we said. We ain't said
Yep.
nothing about anti-China. The people like that you gotta be careful about.
Yep.
When they start
Well,
doing that,
anyways, Ross, I'm getting ready to get up out of here, man. Is there anything else you wanted to say, bro?
nah, man, I'm good.
This was a heck of a live. Once again, Ross is a genius. Even with it happening 2 days after the fact, guess what? When a genius is a genius, a genius is a genius. So, I'm going to give genius credit, man, because this live needed to be talked about. We gave Tory Lanez his just due, even though he got to do that 10-year bullshit bid. We still gave him his just due. We explained everything at his highest level. And at the same time, we hope all these people that tuned in got a chance to listen and paid attention to the fact that what you saw was an illusion. It was the Matrix. It was not a real fight. We're giving y'all one more opportunity to donate to motivate before we get up out of here. You see the cash app, donate to motherfucking motivate. But what y'all saw was a fake fucking fight, man. So y'all need to accept that for what it is. And this is all going to sink in the Spence and Crawford rematch. In December, when Spence knocks out Terence Crawford, then y'all gonna see it. No, in actuality, he knows everything was the one that predicted how the fight was gonna happen. Everybody else is now copycatting. So y'all need to accept that for what it is. Um, so y'all need to go and sit your asses down. Anyways, Ross, I want you to comment on this real quick and let me know what you're thinking.
I don't give a fuck about what you think. You're African. We ain't African. I don't give a fuck about what you think about black man. Y'all be y'all men be kicking y'all in y'all back, man.
Exactly.
Y'all men beat the shit out of y'all, man. Like I done been with with Somalians, with Ethiopians. Y'all man be beating the fuck out of y'all. Y'all like you listen. That's the fuck you is, man.
Yep. and,
That's the fuck
and when
you is.
when they can't win an argument, then that's when they start gaslighting.
Yeah,
You
yes,
fucking
you
call
is.
them
You're a
Dusty Porter.
knockoff. You're a knockoff Ethiopian. You're a dollar. You're a Dollar General Ethiopian, man. That's the fuck you is.
Woo
That's what
shit.
it is. And all because we love black women don't mean we just gonna say something makes sense that don't. How the fuck you get shot of both her feet? And she was walking. You ever seen somebody get shot before?
Mm.
In their feet, they have to sit down. You don't know what you serve because you're not a black woman. You're
Yep.
African.
Yep.
So you don't know what we do for black women. And
Yep.
our black women will not be behaving like no fucking Megan Thee Stallion. They will be nowhere at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning outside at night with a nigga like Tory Lanez.
Mm-hmm.
So you're African or you're not. You're African or you're FBA. African households earn more than FBA households. So you African or you not.
Mm.
You just talking at this point, man. At the end
Yep.
of the day, you're a reject Ethiopian, man. That's what you is, man. And the
Woo,
only way y'all
shit.
get out is y'all trying to act like y'all us. No, just rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, but nobody would care about Nipsey Hussle if he was acting like he was Eritrean. He had
Yep.
to act like a black nigga to get
Yep.
respect.
Yep.
He had to act like one of us. Nobody would have cared about him if he act like one of y'all.
Exactly.
Cause y'all lame as fuck. Y'all country lame as fuck. Y'all gotta come here and y'all gotta act
Woo.
like one of us just to get
Woo.
noticed.
Ooh. She getting put in her place, man.
Yeah, just to get noticed. We don't give a fuck about y'all, man.
Woo.
We don't understand. Real black people know we not African. We don't give a fuck about y'all.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck Haile Selassie. He ain't no Hebrew.
Mm-mm.
Y'all ass ain't nothing but the y'all the remnant of when Italy came over there and raped y'all ancestors. Y'all really Italians. Y'all black Italians. Y'all not even, you know what I mean? Y'all black. That's why y'all look like that. Y'all look like
Damn.
black Italians. Y'all are the seed of rape and domination. That's the reason why y'all hate other black people.
Ooh, shit, man.
They they hate other black people.
Quit while
But
you
but
ahead, fake
but
Ethiopian.
they're attracted to the culture. They're
Woo.
attracted to the black culture, but they don't like other because they got that white man gene in them. Y'all ain't nothing but children of rape and conquest. Y'all got conquered. Y'all got conquered. Y'all got
Woo.
conquered, man.
Shit.
Y'all got conquered. Y'all not us, man.
Mm.
Y'all
She's
ain't us.
actually
Y'all don't look
learning
like
something
us,
right
man.
now, bro. She's learning.
Y'all don't look like us. Y'all ain't us. Y'all don't got the same spirit as us. You have to mimic us.
Mm-hmm.
You got to mimic us, man. Y'all act like
Everybody's always trying to mimic the Hebrews, man. Everyone.
y'all look like very clean Arabs.
Y'all
You know how Arabs look sweaty all the time and shit? Y'all like very clean Arabs. Y'all look like very clean Arabs with darker complexion. And that's probably what an Arab really is. It's probably an African and an Italian mix. That's probably what an Arab. Y'all like very clean Arabs, man. You know what I'm saying?
Woo! You got Derek Henderson laughing his
Yeah.
fucking
You
ass
know what
off.
I'm saying?
Derek Henderson, come on, man. Donate to motivate.
Think,
Ricky Brazy, donate to motivate. Lifeline Music, donate to
about it.
motivate, man.
Think about it. Think about who's old girl that just act she Tiffany Haddish. She's one of y'all. She ain't no rape. She's one of y'all. But guess who she gotta act like just to get noticed? She gotta act like a reject version of one of us.
Exactly.
One of us. Y'all race is trash. You know what I'm saying? Y'all racist trash, man. Y'all gotta act like, y'all gotta act like one of us just to get noticed. Like you
Ooh,
can't be on some FBA shit when you know
yeah.
you're not even no black person. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, know your role. Know your role, man. Shut your fucking mouth. Yeah, know your role. Shut your mouth, man. You'll never. You're a reject Ethiopian, man.
Ooh, shit. Ooh, man. Woo, come on, man. Y'all gotta donate to motivate, man. This broad just got put in her fucking place, man. Woo, shit.
Man, Gillian Wallow do
Woo.
portray that side, man. Look at them. They promote that shit in the black community. Then they want to
Exactly.
get sad when they son and their nephew got killed.
Mm-hmm.
They do promote that side, man. That appreciate shit. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Don't let me call y'all masters. Y'all don't even run y'all country. White man
Yep.
do.
They do. They run it all. Bill Gates run all of Africa.
White man run y'all country, man. The
Mm-hmm.
Chinese man run y'all country.
Yep.
That's y'all master. Some Italian niggas just walk up and slap the shit out of you.
Man, they got a bunch of Asian people that run all the main shit in Africa, man. Don't even get us
Yeah.
started.
Fuck out of here, man. You know who I am?
Whew. Ross, thank you for that, man. That's why we tell y'all donate to motivate, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, look, Ross kept the banner going. He kept the Hebrew going, and that's that tribe of Judah right there. That's that kingship right there. That's what y'all got, man. Y'all got the kingship vibe. Y'all got the kingship energy, man. Because at the end of the day, we got to dispel the bullshit that's going on. We got to get you guys off of the nonsense that people keep going about.
Y'all ain't fight Italians. Italians dominated y'all, man.
They
Why the fuck you
dominated
think
y'all.
y'all look like that?
Exactly.
Y'all look like dark skinned Italians. They raped the shit out of y'all. Yeah. Y'all ain't dominating no fucking Italians. Y'all lost, man.
Yeah. Go look at South Africa, man. South Africa is literally white.
Yeah, fuck out of here, bro.
Hmm. That's why you have white people in Africa calling themselves Afrikaans. Fuck out of here, man.
Look at Ethiopia, man. Look
Woo.
at them. Look at somebody from Eritrea. Y'all look like dark Italians. You ain't fight. That's what they told you. Y'all got fucking pulverized
Hmm.
and dominated and got
Hmm.
freed by America in
Hmm.
World War II. Y'all
Hmm.
guys trash, man. Nobody, nobody don't even give a fuck about y'all, really. Think about it. When the last time somebody said, man, the Etrian bitch is bad? You not giving a fuck about the Etrian bitch. White men like y'all, man.
Woo.
Nobody give a fuck about y'all, man. Y'all weak as hell.
Woo. Damn,
Why?
boy.
It's lasting one shit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They try to take our history too. Talk about they was the Hebrews.
No, they fucking wasn't.
God chose people who never look like y'all, man.
Mm-mm.
God chose people who never look crazy. Y'all eyes be close as hell. Like y'all cross-eyed, man. Y'all eyes close as fuck, man. God people eyes never be that close, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Never. Never.
Never.
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, man. Ross, this shit has been real. Thank you for that, man. Thank you. Thank you, brother. You preached your ass off today and you killed it, man. Salute to you, man. Dude, that's what happens when you put a guy on timeout. He go ape shit. And that's what happened today. He went ape shit. I can't wait till this brother gets back active and live because this shit is about to get crazy. The YouTube, y'all, the worst thing to do is put this man on any level of timeout because at the end of the day, the shit get crazy. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Ross has been real. Appreciate you, brother. Salute. Peace. You know we're gonna be doing it again very fucking soon.
Salute and disrespect to all the Ethiopians and disrespect to all the Eritreans. Y'all not Hebrews, man. At the end of the day.